Good evening and welcome to Key Stadium for the season opener for the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds against St. Xavier from Chicago. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Free Enterprise System, the official travel agency for Greyhound Athletics. Free Enterprise System. Anything else is just a bus ride. Brought to you by Prairie Farms. We are Indiana's dairy. Indiana Members Credit Union proudly supports UIndy Athletics and offers a free UIndy debit card. Show your school spirit and get yours at imcu.com. Gordon Flesh, technology that works, people who perform. Please visit us at gflesh.com. With a knowledgeable staff of water experts in multiple locations, Aqua Systems has been helping people improve their water since 1959 and proud sponsor of the UIndy Greyhounds. And Ray Skillman Auto Group. Go to rayskillman.com for your best deals. Good evening again. Matt Holmes along with former Greyhound quarterback David Burton with you here. This is our Indiana Members Credit Union pregame show for tonight's matchup between the University of Indianapolis and the Cougars of St. Xavier, ranked number 11 in the NAIA, coming into this season after an NAIA playoff appearance a season ago. A big game for UIndy, getting to start at home, and all of it's going to kind of start with our Prairie Farms player to watch, Toriano Clinton.
Exactly. Toriano Clinton rewrote the season record book a year ago. We talked about it, as we were sitting here chatting pregame. The single quarter record last year against Southwest Baptist.
197 yards in a quarter.
You look at his numbers there, and that's missing the last two and a half games,
yeah.
Right? Just phenomenal numbers. Fantastic player playing behind a fairly experienced offensive line. Returned both guards in the center. We got some new tackles on the outside, but with the core of that offensive line there, you look for big things out of Toriano Clinton tonight.
We saw 1,500 yards, a couple huge games over 270 yards, 287 yards in a game last year for Toriano Clinton. Take a look at our Community Hospital Sports Medicine Injury Report, sports medicine coverage provided by Community Health Network, the official sports medicine provider of the UIndy Greyhounds, and kind of two key injuries for the Greyhounds coming into tonight's game. A couple of they returned 8 starters on defense from a year ago, but 2 of those starters are out today. Kyle Borski, defensive end, who was their returner in sacks, and Trayvon Hall in the secondary as a safety, both out for today's game. Before we get here to the kickoff, I want to also get you from Dave our Free Enterprise System keys to the game. You mentioned Toriano Clinton, but a few other keys for UIndy to try and get this season opening win over St. Xavier.
Exactly. Toriano, the very first key is to establish Toriano. We're going to run the football, and as we are able to run the football, now you're going to, as it says there, get Connor Kinnett, get him in rhythm and get him some easy throws. If you know you've got linebackers that are going to key the run or safeties are going to key the run, that should open up some stuff in the pass game for Connor Kinnett. And then the second thing is, without Kyle Borski, without Trayvon Hall in the secondary, can we pressure the passer? Because this is a returning starter for St. Xavier with 3 of his receivers back. If there's one concern Coach Keevers expressed to me in the pregame when we were chatting, it was, how are we going to play in the defensive secondary? He knows the linebackers are really good. He knows the defensive line. He feels like even with Morse out that we're going to be really solid up front. But can we get pressure on the passer and make his life a little bit more difficult? Yeah, and you mentioned it. We'll talk about him a lot more tonight. Connor Kinnett, the sophomore from Cincinnati, getting his first career start after serving as the backup to Bryce Stankham a season ago. But we're just about to have the coin toss. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and kickoff for the season opener, the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds on the ISC Sports Network and GLVC Sports Network.
At Aqua Systems, we believe in one simple idea, that it should be easy to get great water. That's why we provide a hassle-free sales process with money-back guarantees and the best warranties anywhere, all on equipment made in the USA. In fact, at Aqua Systems, we make it so easy to fix your home's water that 9 out of 10 people who shop with us buy from us. Contact Aqua Systems today. You'll love your water.
Remember, when it comes to pedestrian safety, Greyhounds don't have 9 lives. No mascots or linebackers were harmed in the making of this video.
Back in my day, we didn't tailgate. We stood in the rain for 3 hours watching the grass grow, and we liked it. Go Hounds!
When medical care is needed, where will you turn? With Community's Connect to Care program, one call or click finds you the closest open appointment. Request a time yourself, or let us do it. From a primary care doctor or virtual visit, to a med check or community clinic at Walgreens. Just call or click. You can go right to our website or to me. Connect to Care from Community.
Welcome back to Key Stadium, the season opener for the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds. Matt Holmes along with Dave Burton. You see there, number 8, Toriano Clinton, 1,525 yards last year, 3,500 yards in his career, as maybe a big game today, but maybe a big first couple of games, poised early on this season to become the new all-time leading rusher in UIndy history, and well on his way to becoming the leader in career touchdowns at the University of Indianapolis. See our referee Phil Kaufman as he's getting ready to go. We mentioned Connor Canet, quarterback, before the break. UIndy will receive the opening kickoff, so we will get to see Clinton and this brand new quarterback for UIndy. Mentioned an experienced offensive line in the middles, but Dave, 2 brand new tackles getting their first career starts tonight as well for UIndy.
Yeah, and sometimes how are they going to – it'll be interesting. Some of those nerves, as soon as the first play goes and that first contact comes, the nerves go out the window, and players are just going to play. Another thing that Coach Keevers mentioned is he's really been pleased with the development of the receiving core, and so he's really looking forward, like we talked about, establish Clinton, but he thinks there's going to be some big plays that are going to happen in the pass game today.
Yeah, we'll definitely see some newcomers at wide receiver for UIndy this season. Peyton Bennis will kick off, a returning kicker for the Cougars. All MSFA first team last year for St. Xavier. Went 8-3, reached the NAIA playoffs, losing in the first round. Jeremiah Lee, number 1, and Jaquan Buchanan are back deep for UIndy to receive the opening kickoff of the 2022 season. A beautiful night, about 74 degrees here on the south side of Indy. Maybe a chance of some rain again in the second half like we had this morning here in Indianapolis, but beautiful evening right now to get this game started. The lefty kicks off. This will be Lee from the 10. Bit of a hole, and he's just tripped up by the leg.
Literally tripped up there by number 13.
Yeah, Nick Schultz just got his leg on it, but we'll take a look for UIndy as they come out here the first play and see what they go with to get things started on the season. With Canet. First snap as a starter for UIndy against the 4-3 defense. Hands off to Clinton up the middle, and not much room early. Gain of about 2. So we take a look at the UIndy starting lineup, our Ray Skillman starting lineup. We mentioned some of those wide receivers, Jeremiah Lee, Lonzo Derrick back, Kamal Ransom, a freshman wide receiver that they are very excited about, and Ethan Hand getting the start at tight end for UIndy. So we come up on a 2nd and 9. Play action, quick throw to the outside, that's caught, and getting close to the first down marker is Derrick. It'll be 3rd and short as we take a quick look at the St. Xavier defense, which is led by a couple of defensive tackles. Peyton Campbell and Jalil Holloway, a pair of all MSFA Midwest League first-teamers, some experience in the middle there, and Joey Markusovic, an all-league linebacker, 80 tackles, 6.5 for loss last season for the Cougars. As UIndy face their first 3rd and short. Handoff up the middle, little bit of space, close to the marker, and I think UIndy's going to have enough for this first down as the line judge points forward for it. It'll be a first down for UIndy.
Yeah, in pretty basic open here, just a little, you see right there, Kendall Alexis pulls around from the right side to run a little trap play, trying to get some movement from the right guard, right tackle, and then get a little kick out there and just try to create a scene for Toriano Clinton.
Our first look now at the freshman from Dalton, Ohio, Jaden Slayball in the backfield to the right of Connor Kennett. Play action, Kennett will roll to his right. Still rolling, and now he's going to take it himself up the sideline, and he goes out of bounds for what looks like it'll be good enough for another UIndy first down. Kennett, a guy that ran for over 400 yards and 11 touchdowns as a senior in high school. He can be a little bit of that dual threat for UIndy, as you can see here.
There you see Kendall Alexis again pulling out a design bootleg, and they catch him right there. They catch St. Xavier in a little bit of man coverage, and there's nobody for the quarterback. Kennett obviously sees it and goes and gets what he can on the ground.
Slayball up the middle this time, met by a couple of Cougars as he's initially rolled up on by Finn Brandon at his legs to slow him down initially after the gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, nice job, really. The offensive line's getting a little bit of movement there. What we're not seeing from UIndy is the ability to come off of the double team blocks and pick up that second level defender, and that's why you're getting the tackle there for a 2-yard gain.
Getting to see all the running backs on this first drive as Jaquan Buchanan comes in for this second down play. Play action again. Throw deep out to the left side, and it is almost caught but broken up. That is Jacob Denny right here. Dave, something you're very familiar with, a grad of Roncalli here on the south side, as he broke up that attempt as the first target in the young Khmer of Kamal Ransom.
Yeah, I mean, good throw, good timing, really good coverage there by Jacob Denny. Kid that I'm used to seeing wear the same color and support the team that I'm supporting.
Flag might be a free play. This might be offsides. Kennett rolling to his left, looking to throw, throwing deep down the field, and it's going to be intercepted inside the 10-yard line. But that might have been a free play. Is that interception? It looks like. Ron Carroll making the interception.
Yeah, I think they're definitely offside.
Yeah, they let him run the play, which means it probably wasn't on the offense, must have been on the defense.
And the defender wasn't unimpeded to the quarterback, so let the play go in case the offense hits the big play. And I think that's what Connor was trying to do.
Phil Kaufman, our referee, calling of that, so now UIndy will go from a 3rd and 8 to a 3rd and 3.
Now the one thing, I see what he sees there in looking for Kamal Ransom, but really late down the middle is never a good idea for a quarterback.
Handoff this time. This is Clinton back in, going to his right, and he's going to get tackled out of bounds by Carroll, but that's a UIndy first down as the big interception by the Cougars nullified by the offsides, and UIndy continues to be in business now inside the St. X 30.
Yeah, really nice job there. 3rd and 3. St. X, I think, was thinking pass, and UIndy hits him with the run. Toriano's able to get the edge and get the first down.
Handoff up the middle again, and a nice hole made by the interior of the offensive line that we've talked about. Gets them up to the 23-yard line.
And right now, UIndy's using a lot of different formations, and I think that's probably by design, and what they're trying to see is how is St. Xavier going to line up versus these different formations, and is there one that gives us an advantage? There, we were in a 3-by-1 without an attached H-back or a tight end, and that spread them out a little bit and created a running lane for a 7-yard gain.
2nd and 4 for the Greyhounds. Ethan Hand, the tight end, offset to the left. And quick pressure into the backfield. Slayball is taken down immediately, and that's one of those defensive tackles we talked about. Jalil Holloway, an NAIA honorable mention All-American last season. He showed why right there.
Yeah, and what you see there is we're trying to get Austin Keel, the center, all the way back on a 3 technique, and he gets a piece of him, actually knocks him into. We're running a counter play. Kendall Alexis is pulling to his right, and then Ethan Hand is supposed to be the secondary lead blocker on that. And what happened was Keel blocked the defensive lineman into our puller there with Ethan Hand.
Got another flag here, but this one likely appears to be that it's going to make this 3rd and 8, likely a 3rd and 13 for UIndy as the offense. Somebody in the offensive line might have went early. They're talking about it though, so as they blew it dead. See the head linesman Kenneth Moore, part of that discussion. And that's the new left tackle, Tyler Thomas, number 72, redshirt junior out of Columbus, Indiana. Played at Columbus East, a transfer from Indiana Wesleyan. Spent the last couple of years. Actually a converted tight end in the 2021 spring season. He was still playing tight end and had a touchdown reception in that shortened spring season. As UIndy will face 3rd and 13. This drive taking about 5 minutes so far. Maybe 4 down territory if they can get a significant chunk of this 13 here on 3rd down. Kennett rolling to his right again, and he's just got to lob it out of bounds as pressure was coming that time from Peyton Campbell. And now it's going to be 4th and long from the 32. You're looking at about a 49-yard field goal attempt, and UIndy has a brand new freshman kicker this year in Colin Seymour, as Paul Boosman has graduated. And I don't see a punter, so this looks like the offense staying on the field for 4th and long.
Right, I think this is probably the best play here. Your best chance to get the first, to get points on this drive is going to be to get a 1st down right here.
Yeah, 49, a little too long for the first field goal attempt of your young kicker's career, but too close to punt to try and pin it. Kennett has a bit of a pocket, double clutches, throws in the middle and over the head of Alonzo Derrick on the double clutch. And UIndy will turn it over on downs. St. Xavier holds on this first drive, and we'll check out the Cougars offense. Do we see here? Kenneth.
Well, I think he had what he was looking at, and when he was ready to throw it, Alonzo Derrick, I think there was a little bit of an option for him to either continue vertical or to sit down his route, and I don't think Kennett was exactly sure what he was going to do, so he's like, I think he's going to stop, and then he's like, oh, he did stop, and by that time he's out of rhythm and doesn't make the throw.
Stuart Ross, the quarterback, in a play in the backfield, and we see these great UIndy linebackers step up as they tried to run Kyle Quinn, the wide receiver, on a stretch play, and he's brought down by Honeyus in the backfield. And we'll talk a lot about these linebackers today as Honeyus gets back there for the tackle for loss. He had 12 of those last year.
Well, that and also Brandon Smith, the right defensive end, got a great push up the field and set the edge, which allows Honeyus to come off and make that play.
2nd and 14, play action, thrown out short to the right by Ross. That's caught by his wide receiver, Justin Pringle, who gets close to a 1st down and picks up the majority of that to make it a 3rd and short. As we've seen early here, we expected to see Amari Venerable in the backfield, but the past couple plays they started with the wide receiver Kyle Quinn, and on this 3rd down play, Matt Shavers is in the backfield for St. X, not their all-conference first-team running back from a season ago. And a flag comes in from the sideline. There's plenty of time on the play clock.
I think one of the interior linemen flinched. Just judging, Honeyus was pointing. Somebody moved.
This will push the Cougars back. Their quarterback, Stuart Ross, 6'1", junior out of Springfield, Illinois. All-conference second team a season ago. He was 4th in the NAIA in completion percentage last year at 66%. So very efficient for the Cougars at the quarterback position. Quinn in motion. Ross with a straight drop back. Pays a little bit of pressure, steps up in the pocket, and there is Xavier Guerrier. He spins out of that tackle And then a UIndy player dives in head first late, and a late flag comes in. Minimal contact, if any, but the quarterback, Ross, was clearly down, and we'll maybe see here in a second which player came in late, as this flag, I think, is going to come probably for that, for maybe a late hit and give the Cougars a break.
Yeah, as he spun away from Xavier, he then gives himself up and slides as Clay Schulte, 28, is coming towards him, and I'm not sure that
that's tough.
That's tough because as he's sliding,
spins out of that tackle.
He called it on Xavier.
I think he gave the wrong guy. I'm not sure that's on. He said 27. I think
Right,
28 was who we saw.
No, well, I think Schulte's going in. He's diving and tries to get to the side as he sees him slide. Guerrier has him wrapped up and is just trying to continue his play, right? I mean, I think that's really close.
But new life for St. Xavier on this first deep throw down the right sideline, and that is incomplete, as good coverage from Landry Mavungu. It was a big play that time looking.
And I really like what they did right there. They get a first down based on penalty after they should have been in a punt situation. Talked about the fact that you've got returning receivers, returning quarterback, first down near midfield, take a shot. Take a shot on the fade.
Yeah, they were looking for Mason Gray, who had 8 catches for 116 yards against UIndy in the opener last year. Handoff up the middle to Quinn, and he is brought down for a loss again by this UIndy defense.
Yeah, Brandon Smith again, as he's reading, defensive linemen are taught, what type of block they're getting from an offensive lineman. Is it a run block, is it a pass block? Every time he gets that run block fit from the offensive lineman, he's doing a great job of pressing him into the backfield and extending his arms and finding the ball carrier.
3rd and 12 for St. Xavier, facing another 3rd and long. Picked up the last one by a penalty. Blitz by the Hounds. Ross has nowhere to go, and he's met by a host of Greyhounds. Wilson, Schulte is back there. Aaron Barnett amongst the Hounds, who met at the quarterback that time.
Yeah, I think Coach Cooper, he gets somebody in 3rd and long, and he's got his nickel package where he takes some defensive linemen out and he puts in some speedier players, but he doesn't put them in necessarily and say, we're going to cover you. He puts them in and says, we're going to bring pressure, and that was a really nice job. Well-executed blitz right there.
Yeah, Wilson and Schulte look like the first 2 guys here, and the running back, Matt Shavers, the punter for St. Xavier.
And he puts in some
gets off a good one low to the left, and not going to be much that Derek can do about this. This is going to roll inside the 20, and a nice job that time on the punt by Shavers. Each team's had a series. We're scoreless after 1 series each here in the first quarter at Key Stadium.
Back in my day, we didn't have inflatables for the kids. They played with sticks and stones, and they liked it. Go Hounds!
A longer field for Kennett to work with on his second drive of the game. Was able to move UIndy. Handoff to the left side to Clinton. Breaks through a couple other tackles. He's got 1 man and a receiver blocking down the sideline. Step through 2 other tackles. 1 man to beat. He's up the sideline, and he is gone. 88 yards, Toriano Clinton.
Part of the reason he can get 197 yards in 1 quarter is you talking about having a long field. All he sees is the end zone. Just running a little, pulling both guards here, a little buck sweep action, pin it down, pull them around, get the edge. There's no wideout out there, so now you're running that play at a cornerback, at a defensive back, and when he's in space, we saw somebody get their hands on him about the 40-yard line. He runs out of those tackles so many times because he's just so physically dominant compared to those secondary defenders.
And the extra point is good. First point of the career of the freshman, Colin Seymour, and UIndy's on top, 7-0 here on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 1.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
88 yards to the house for Toriano Clinton to get UIndy on the board with the first points of 2022. Great job of pulling by center Austin Keel and left guard Kendall Alexis. And then you don't get big runs like that, Dave, without wide receivers. Jeremiah Lee was 40 yards downfield helping to spring past that last guy for the touchdown.
Fantastic effort there by Jeremiah Lee.
Justin Pringle and Javen Mays back for the first kickoff for Seymour. He skies it up in the air, and the up man, two guys run into each other at about the 18, and a short return there for St. Xavier on the return by Ryan Fitzgerald, a linebacker. Indiana Members Credit Union is proud to support the University of Indianapolis athletics and offers a free debit card with a free checking account and e-statements. Get your UIndy debit card today and show your school spirit. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online at imcu.com. Membership savings required, federally insured by NCUA. So the second time we'll get to see this offense of St. Xavier. Again, we have not seen their all-conference first-team running back, Amari Venerable. Matt Shavers in the backfield this time. Matt Shavers the third, a junior out of Freeport, Illinois. Ross will pass and set, throws out to the right to Quinn. He's knocked out of bounds by Mavungu after a gain of about 4.
Yeah, just, I think trying to establish their short passing game, we're noticing Venerable's not playing. So now what do you do if you don't have your all-conference returning running back? You try to manufacture some runs through the short passing game.
Well, this is a team that plays 4 wide but wants to run out of it as much as they want to throw. Play action, this time out to Quinn again, swung to the left. And wrapping up around the ankles, a excellent open field tackle by Cavante Houston. 5'10" sophomore out of Chicago. One of these new first-time starters for UIndy.
Well, yeah, that was really well done. They go to a condensed formation where they tighten everybody down and then run motion, little play action trying to get the ball to the outside. And by design, they've got it. And Houston just comes up and makes a fantastic tackle in the open field.
UIndy kind of this nickel, 3-down lineman. They send 5, thrown out to the left. That is going to be caught by Pringle, pushed out of bounds by Jalen Wilson, but it's good enough for a St. Xavier first down.
Yeah, you can see St. Xavier made an adjustment here against the blitzing 5-man pressure, and he's able to find the receiver out in the left flat, in the short side flat for the first down.
First time we've seen this pistol formation. Handoff up the middle to Shavers, and he is hit immediately by the defensive line as the first guy there is Brandon Smith, and then the linebackers help clean it up. That's at least the 3rd tackle for loss as they lose 2 on that first down play.
Well, and it's the 3rd time we're mentioning on run plays, we're mentioning Brandon Smith. Yeah, he's really owning the line of scrimmage right now, whether he's on the defensive right or the defensive left. He's made plays on both sides against both the tackles.
Yeah, redshirt freshman out of Cincinnati, last year's scout team defensive player of the year. Blitz up the middle, thrown. Honeyus was bringing pressure, and a little bit of contact with the quarterback on the incompletion. This might be another late hit against the Greyhounds. As the pressure forced a quick throw by Ross to no one out on the left.
Yeah,
and the
so
flag came in the backfield.
Was
personal foul, roughing the passer, low hit on the quarterback, number 10, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
low hit on the quarterback where they're trying to protect the legs.
And he almost gets through too clean.
They call that in the NFL too. You can't go low. You can't go low that late. And once he had kind of released it, and I think he was trying to avoid hitting him high.
I agree.
Ross staying in the pressure, gets a little bit of pressure, but gets it out to Pringle, breaks the tackle of Mavungu, breaks the tackle of Houston, but he fumbles, loses the ball. Houston's going to pick it up at the 30. There's also a flag on the play. Might have been another face mask by Shavers on the sideline, but got a lot to shake out here.
So
Pringle made the reception, broke a couple of tackles, fumbled the ball that was picked up by Houston, who returns it back to the 34-yard line of St. X. But Phil Kaufman, our referee, who we've already heard a lot of here in the first quarter, is going to have a lot to figure out here with what the penalty is back here in the back. I don't know, either holding or a face mask situation. Holding downfield or a face mask seems like what it might be where it's at.
It could also be a block in the back.
Right.
Prior to the fumble, personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 5 of the offense. That penalty is declined. 1st and 10, UIndy.
And you know, sometimes those blocks and those penalties are really effort penalties. Okay, so he runs out of the tackle there and out of this one, and there you see right there as he goes sliding in and takes out 2 players, that's the illegal chop block. And he's just trying to get out in front of his buddy, right? And you get it, but again, in the spirit of player safety, you're not allowed to cut him down there.
Well, great hustle, getting a lot of guys around the ball by UIndy, and Cavante Houston, who kind of didn't quite get that tackle, stayed heads up to pick up the fumble, and now gives UIndy really good field position at the St. X 34-yard line. Kennett holds it a little while longer. Holding, looking deep down the middle of the field. He's got a man and overthrows Alonzo Derrick. He had him wide open and just a little too much juice on that one. Looking for his first collegiate touchdown pass.
Yeah, I mean, this is straight up, you know, after a turnover, you're in the other opponent's territory. What he was waiting on to throw the ball was he saw the free safety there taking the crossing route coming this way. He knew he wanted the post, I think, the whole time, but he waited a little longer and then, you know, knew he had to throw it really hard to get it to the spot. If he'd have thrown it sooner, I think he has it.
Yeah, great route by Derrick. May see the coaches definitely notice that. May see them come back to that. Quick throw out to the right. This is John Eineman wide open in the flat, and he'll get upfield to about the 20, maybe inside of it. But that's going to be a UIndy first down up to the 19. UIndy's wide receiver of the year. We saw a lot of Eineman last year. Could be a good possession receiver for the Hounds.
Yeah, they're going to sprint to it. He's got the shallow route, and then they're trying to flood that side as they sprint to it. And all of the St. Xavier defenders are taking the deep routes away. Take what they give you, and then Eineman's able to run for the first down.
Slaybaugh back in at running back. He'll get the handoff up the middle this time. Runs into that line, gain of maybe 2.5 before he's brought down. 10 varsity letters in high school. Playing football, ran for 1,700 yards as a senior, but he was also an all-state outfielder coming out of Dalton High School. Clinton will come back in after that short run. Because again, well, you see this a lot, and actually 2 in the back is they've got Jeremiah Lee, the wide receiver, on the right side. So running back and a wide receiver in the backfield, and that's Lee, goes in motion to his left. Instead, it's a handoff to Clinton going right. He's got a lot of room. Good block, and now inside to about the 6-yard line before his helmet comes off on the tackle by Ron Carroll. It'll be 1st and goal for the Greyhounds.
Is that Frank
Indianapolis
Bentley?
Is out for 1 play.
Frank Bentley does a really nice job blocking on the perimeter. And then the other thing you see Clinton do is set up that second, the other block, you know, a little bit of patience and then the burst, trying to race to the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, an athletic center in Austin Keel. He was pulling again that time as, 81, Frank Bentley blocking as a wide receiver. Clinton, because his helmet came off, has to sit at least 1 play, so Slaybaugh comes in on this 1st and goal play. and he'll get the handoff, showing a little bit of patience, but not much room. That's Marcus Sovic that we call out for the first time, the middle linebacker holding his ground and swallowing up Slaybaugh for a gain of nothing, it appears. Second down.
Right, and you know, the play before, they're pulling Austin Keel out in front. Here they run the little counter play where they're trying to get two lead blockers, and Alexis and was that Ethan Hand in the game right there, you know, and just tried to be patient, just never really developed.
Jaquan Buchanan in. They go 4 wide. Big wide receiver, the freshman, far to the top of your screen, Rory Heltzley out of Gibson Southern. Play action. Kennett looking, throwing into the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, the freshman. Come on, Ransom. Kennett gets his first touchdown of his career on the first career reception for the freshman, Ransom.
Yeah, really nice route. So at the top, Heltzley runs a little in route with a corner over the top of it. He doesn't like what he sees there, comes to the backside, and Ransom, see, you can see he just slides along the back line. Nobody sees he's there. The linebackers are standing and watching the quarterback's eyes, and as he comes back, that's a really nice job of Kennett of coming off his primary read to find his secondary read for the touchdown.
And Seymour goes 2 for 2 to start his career. The freshman out of Monticello, Indiana, 14-0 UIndy here with a minute and a half to go in the first quarter of play. Free Enterprise is proud to be the official transportation provider for Greyhound Athletics. As you know, teamwork makes the dream work. At Free Enterprise, we'd love to be a part of your team by providing transportation for your group. We can move groups of any size, from event shuttles, youth groups, to campus shuttles and more. There's no group our team can accommodate. Contact one of our travel consultants today at travelfe.com and book with Free Enterprise today. Anything else is just a bus ride. Toriano Clinton, already 107 yards rushing. Kennett, 3 of 7, 29 yards and a touchdown in his short career, and a good job. Both of the linebackers just didn't get deep enough, and he threw that bullet right over the top.
Yeah, I mean, really nice job. You know, I think his initial thought was to throw the corner route that I think Alonzo Derrick was running, and he felt like it was too well covered, but part of the reason it was covered, there's a safety over the top of it, so he works his way back to the backside, and there's nobody in the middle of the field behind the linebackers, and he makes a really nice throw and nice catch by Ransom.
Quinn will return this kickoff and get stopped after a pretty minimal gain, and actually it might have been a fumble, because that's a different player picks up the ball. But St. X will maintain possession. They try to get something going. We mentioned Stuart Ross, very efficient, 66% completion percentage last year, 4th in the NAIA. He's 5 of 6, 83% today. But the rushing game, nothing going, is already negative 16 yards rushing for St. X, as UIndy already has kind of made, in a quarter here, seems to have made the Cougars already very one-dimensional. Now 14-0, the score could play into that as well. Pinned inside the 25. Handoff to Quinn. They go with a reverse to Javen Mays. UIndy there sniffs it out. He steps through a couple of tackles, and finally coming up to bring him down is Brayon Eddings, as the UIndy pursuit does its job and more negative rushing yards for the Cougars.
Well, and honestly, the player that turns this back in, look who stayed at home and takes on the quarterback block. It's Brandon
Smith again.
Brandon Smith again. Now, we saw the broken tackles on the previous possession with before the fumble. You know, these receivers are dynamic players, and they're trying to get them the ball as many ways as they can. But right now, they're really struggling because they don't have much of an interior running game.
Tried to get that, I think, perhaps out into the flat to Pringle, but Aaron Barnett gets his hand up. 6'1" sophomore out of Fountain Central High School, had 2.5 sacks a season ago. A 3-time AP All-State honorable mention down there at Fountain Central. And now another 3rd and long, as St. X is 1 for 3 on 3rd down. They've been helped out by a couple of untimely penalties, but not so much on their execution.
Right. I think they've made 2 first downs.
Quick throw, and that is Barnett again who knocks it down at that left defensive end spot to force a 4th and long for the Cougars. Again, we've seen the pass rush get home a few times. Maybe that's playing into these quick throws, but Barnett, active hands, 2 straight knockdowns.
Yeah, and that's, reading the eyes of the quarterback and reading the front shoulder, and as soon as he sees he's getting ready to pull the trigger, you're just trying to time it up.
So now we'll see. We've got a different punter, Justin Pringle, in, using a wide running back and then a wide receiver, at least keep you honest about what he can do. And he skies this punt up in the air. Derek is going to have to fair catch it at the UIndy 45-yard line after the short punt.
Yeah, good decision there by Alonzo Derek. We haven't seen who we thought was the starting running back. And maybe they've had some injury issues that we weren't, privy to the information. But you'd say either that or I'm guessing now maybe they had illness after they left Chicago, and because you're not seeing seeing 2 different punters. Who knows?
First game of the year. The UIndy Greyhound Club online auction, fans, the annual online auction for the Greyhound Club will take place September 29th through October 6th. Go to UIndyathletics.com to participate. The Greyhound Club online auction, September 29th through October 6th. UIndyathletics.com. Always a lot of really good stuff in the online auction for the Greyhound Club. Best field position so far of the night for UIndy, starting at their own 45. Hand off to Clinton again, going to his right. Got some room and just dragged down out of bounds after another 10-plus yard run. That's Finn Brandon, the linebacker.
Yeah, another pin and pull play. You see both Kednell Alexis and Austin Keel trying to lead out and get out in front. And maybe they're just running the wide zone play, and it almost appears as they're pulling because they're vacating their guy. But really nice job of getting that front side stretch and giving Clinton some running room.
Slaybaugh back in, the running back, but that will be the end of the quarter. UIndy showing some nice things on offense, an 88-yard touchdown run by Toriano Clinton, and the Hounds, after 15 minutes, hold a 14-0 lead over St. Xavier in the season opener of UIndy football on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Back in my day, the entertainment at the football games was Uncle Larry playing his banjo in the back of the van. Go Hounds!
One quarter down, UIndy 14-0 lead over the number 11 ranked team in the NAIA, St. Xavier. As the Hounds get an 88-yard touchdown from Toriano Clinton on the ground, and then the first career touchdown pass for Connor Kinnett, 6 yards to freshman Kamal Ransom. Counts for your scoring. Clinton already 118 yards rushing, as he could be perhaps in record-setting territory again. 287 yards is his school record for yards rushing in a game. He's also number 2 with 270 in a game, both last year for UIndy. Straight drop back by Kennett. Throwing short, he finds Jeremiah Lee, who breaks a couple tackles, spins away from Markusovic, and gets about 5 yards to make it 2nd and 5.
Jeremiah Lee is not very big at all, 5'7", 162, but he is slippery and he is difficult to tackle.
Third team all GLVC a year ago, 36 catches, 550 yards, 6 touchdowns. And to show his game-breaking ability, he had 4 touchdowns in a game against Southwest Baptist last year, including a 95-yard kickoff return. Flag comes in And you saw Jabari Anderson, number 30, pointing at maybe the left tackle. Maybe this was Tyler Thomas, but we'll see here from
False start,
Hoffman.
72 offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And that was Thomas, the left tackle.
Just saw him flinch just a little bit.
That'll bring it back. See a 2nd and 9 coming up. Mentioned Tyler Thomas, new left tackle. Also Ryan Ritchie, new right tackle, playing 3 games as a backup. A 6'4", 314-pound sophomore out of O'Fallon, Illinois, along with that core middle, Alexis Keel and Zachary Clark at right guard that we've already mentioned this evening. Kennett keeps it as he fakes the handoff to Buchanan, and he gets hit hard and his helmet comes off as he's brought down on the tackle by Tyler Barnett, the free safety.
Number 11, Indy, is out for
but
one
he'll have
play.
to take off a play on what is going to be a crucial 3rd and short, and this will bring on the backup. We'll see for the first time, I think, in his UIndy career, the senior Christian Conkling from Anderson played at Pendleton Heights High School, 6'3", 224-pound senior, 2-time academic all-conference. He'll be in the shotgun with Clinton next to him on a 3rd and 1. And he'll hand off to Clinton, gets enough behind the middle of that line, and another UIndy first down. That's why he's 2-time academic all-conference. He knows the smart thing to do.
Well, yeah, and we're in the personnel grouping with both Hand and McNeilis on the field at the same time. And then you're going to give it to a guy that's already rushed for 120 yards in the game. Pretty good recipe for success in the short yardage game.
Clinton will get a rest back to Buchanan. Kennett, good blitz pickup, holds it, and then just runs out of time and nowhere to go and brought down by the defensive line for a sack.
I think he was looking for Ransom there, and as he's trying to make his break, he collided with the safety, and it completely threw off the timing of his route. Actually, that might have been, it looked like 14. Was that Gillum?
Marquez Gillum.
Yeah, I think it was Gillum was his primary read there, and he collided with the DB.
Yeah,
Jalil
Holloway got him on the move, and then Van Williams Jr. was the start of the posse that finished him off. Kennett rolling to his right again, holding, looking, and now he'll just take off down the right sideline and go out of bounds. He is definitely, on a lot of those plays, got his eyes downfield. That time looked like Jeremiah Lee was the guy and just couldn't get comfortable to let it go, and he'll bring up a 3rd and long.
Well, I think there was like a downfield pass read, and then it turned into a secondary bootleg where the running back, and I think Buchanan was in the game, Jaquan was his flat read, and there was no pressure in his face, so, make something happen with your legs, and that's what he did.
Flag comes out. This looks like a free play again. Open down the sideline, wide open for the touchdown. UIndy, Frank Bentley brings it in, 31 yards for the Hounds. We'll find out the flag, but this most assuredly is offsides.
Offsides, 33, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
The boundary corner up there just stopped playing.
Bentley, 5 catches, 72 yards in the game. Corner blitz, and nobody got out there, it looks like.
Corner blitz, and the safety froze. He's supposed to be rallying over the top of that. Nice recognition by Connor Kennett, and you don't get many throws like that unless it's warm-ups where he's that wide open.
4th touchdown of Bentley's career. Seymour's extra point is good, and the Hounds extend their lead 21-0 here on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Ransom and Buick GMC truck was just awarded GMC Dealer of the Year. Come see why and drive away in a new Buick Encore for just $129 a month. Lease a new GMC Terrain for only $229 a month, or get a 3rd row Acadia for as little as $229 a month.
Get your next SUV from the GMC Dealer of the Year, Ray Skillman Buick GMC truck.
2 great locations, US 31 South
or I-465 and East Washington Street, or RaySkillmanCars.com.
Back in my day, it was about family here at the University of Indianapolis. And you know what? It still is. Go Hounds!
21-0 UIndy, the preseason favorite in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, on top of St. Xavier, ranked number 11 in the NAIA. But they have not been able to get much going against a stifling UIndy defense and a new quarterback for UIndy, Connor Kennett. Throws his second touchdown of the game, already 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's found Bentley and Ransom for touchdowns. Another high kick inside the 10. This will be Kyle Quinn to return for St. Xavier, looking at his left. And good pursuit that time by UIndy by Logan Caney, sophomore wide receiver out of Greensburg. He is high school football at North Decatur.
In the however many years that you and I have done this and sat up here,
St. Xavier, sideline warning.
11, 12 years, the one thing that may have improved more than anything is the kick coverage. And to me, it's a testament to the type of athletes that they're recruiting here. These guys that are running down the kickoff are much faster than they were 15 years ago, and just much better tacklers. That's a heck of a play right there by Caney.
And the depth they've built in the program, a lot of times they are reserves, not necessarily starters, where you're not having to overextend, that you've got that kind of athleticism, maybe in some reserve guys. Errant snap from the center is going to go out of the back of the end zone, and this is going to be a safety and 2 more points for UIndy. We'll take a look. Matt Olson, a new starter for them, the junior from Valparaiso. So we had listed. I wanted to check right this time to see if that's who was lined up. It is number 50, Matt Olson, the junior from Valparaiso.
I think he snapped it too soon.
Ross, ready?
The quarterback is trying to get the motion man across, and the ball comes out. He's not ready for it, and it just goes right by him. Had it been at him, he still wouldn't have caught it, I don't think.
Checking out the UIndy fan zone. So that was the Greyhound Club sign. Also, the UIndy fan zone is also great crowd already out tonight for the season opener. And new this year, they got the fan zone. And at UIndy, if you partake, adult beverages available in that area if you want to come down to the south side and enjoy here at a UIndy game.
People that I went to school with are going to be absolutely shocked.
I know, right? Well, the way things have changed. Aqua Systems offers water softeners, drinking water systems, water purification, problem water solutions, and bottled water. Visit online at aquasystems.com. Aqua Systems, your home water experts. And with the safety, obviously, with that, UIndy not only gets the points, they're also going to get the ball back.
And should have decent field position. This is, if you're St. Xavier, if you know, all coaches kind of go through the worst case scenario, you know, what could happen, I think they're living just about every one of them right now.
UIndy's first safety since that spring season, April of 21 against Quincy. Jeremiah Lee will return. Makes enough, couple nifty moves before he's tackled just before the 50-yard line. Mike Femenis, in his 24th year as the head coach at St. Xavier, led him to the 2011 NAIA National Championship. He's 4th in the NAIA with 197 wins amongst active NAIA coaches, so very experienced on that sideline. You know, he had his team prepared, but UIndy, Chris Keevers, in his 4th season as the head coach, 29th overall. Nobody knows this place better. I mean, in terms of longevity at the university, he's got to be at the top 5 or 10 employees across the entire campus. With 29 years, the former Purdue standout. Play action. Kennett pumps, then throws again down the middle, and that is caught. Bentley skies for it and brings it down inside the 30.
So 23-0. You just had a safety. You get the ball out in your midfield. Hey, let's play action. let's max protect this thing. Let's take a shot. And he's looking deep down the middle. And then right there you see Bentley. He's running he's trying to fill the void left by the deep post that's being run over to that boundary side, the short side flat. That's a heck of a throw and catch.
Yeah, he skied over the middle linebacker, Marcus Sovic, who couldn't keep Bentley from making the catch. Handoff inside. This is Buchanan, and he's tripped up by Finn Brandon. Otherwise, he might have had nothing but green in front of him to the corner.
Yeah, that's a really nice tackle by Brandon right there. And Jaquan Buchanan is coming off shaking his head saying, man, I thought I had that one, because there was a lot of green turf in front of him.
Yeah, Buchanan very good in those 2 full games when Clinton was injured last year that he didn't play in weeks 10 and 11. Buchanan had 154 yards against William Jewell and 94 against Truman. Play action again. Buchanan looking to his left. Throws towards the back corner of the end zone. Toe touch. Touchdown. Jeremiah Lee, 23 yards.
I expected him to throw it to Alonzo Derrick. I thought he was going to be more open on the post, and he went with when they ran the deep cross through the corner route to Jeremiah Lee. I mean, this ball's really well placed. This is a heck of a catch, running full speed, catching that up at its high point. That's a really, really nice throw, and maybe a better catch.
Colin Seymour busy. Flag on the extra point. It's good, but we'll wait to hear from referee Phil Kaufman again. All right, looks like the points are going to stay on the board, and they're going to decline this penalty. So 30-0, UIndy with 10:07 to go.
Offsides, 29, defense. That penalty is declined. Kick is good.
It's here on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 3.49% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Portillo's is unbelievably excited to serve their famous Chicago-style street food in Indianapolis on US 31, just south of Stop 11 Road. We are looking for top dogs to get paid daily, have a flexible work schedule, and will get free shift meals. Apply at portillos.com/careers.
UIndy 30-0 here after just about not even 20 minutes of play the first half of the season opener against St. Xavier, and a lot of people were intrigued. New cornerback Connor Kinnett, and he certainly passed with flying colors here through a quarter and a half. 7 of 11, 3 touchdowns as St. Xavier returned. This is Justin Pringle looking for room on his left. Cuts up, and just as we're talking about the coverage, it takes the kicker, Colin Seymour, to push him out of bounds around the 50. The announcer jinx.
Me and my
hits
big
again.
Well, and Colville does a really nice job and nearly makes the play at the 10-yard line. You know, I was going to question the decision. He caught it 1 foot into the end zone. I'm thinking, man, well, I'm not sure I wouldn't just stay there. Just be quiet and wait for the next one.
New running back Mario Price, a freshman in the backfield. But instead, Pringle will get the ball, as now he's got some blockers with a wall to his left, and he'll get the first down before Justin Thomas gets in his way. But a good chunk of yardage on first down for the Cougars.
Yeah, again, that's fantastic effort there by Pringle. He just ran 60-plus yards on the kick return, and then you give him the jet sweep that he reverses field on. It's a lot of energy expended.
Ross again will lob it down the right side. That's going to be intercepted at the 30-yard line. by Brayon Eddings. Gets by one guy, and then he's going to be dragged down by Joe Polselli. But maybe a little miscommunication as Brayon Eddings gets his first career interception, the sophomore from Reynoldsburg, Ohio.
Well, I think the miscommunication came because of the pressure in the quarterback's face. We do a really nice job here. You see Honeyus is coming up the middle, Guerrier, so we brought both inside backers. And when Honeyus takes the first guy, Guerrier gets in his face. He doesn't know what the receiver's doing on the outside. He thinks he's running vertically, and he's made a move inside. And now Braylon Eddings is the only guy out there. Our spotter back here thought there was a horse-collared tackle.
It might have been close. But UIndy in excellent field position again. Hand up inside to Toriano Clinton, dragged down from behind. A nice tackle by Markusovic. The defensive coordinator, Bill McKeon of St. Xavier, looking for some answers right now against a UIndy offense. Brad Wilson, offensive coordinator. New passing game coordinator, Michael Engel, came from DePaul, a record-setting quarterback at DePaul. Tutoring Kennett, and that is certainly looking like that relationship is showing dividends early.
And talking to Coach Keevers, as well as obviously he and Connor Kennett getting along very well, he and Brad Wilson really see eye to eye and are doing a nice job working together and coordinating the entire offense between the pass and the run.
That's Kellen Porter, who we saw a lot last year, but not as much. A little more with Jaden Slaybaugh. Buchanan played well. Porter gets his first carry, the sophomore from St. Louis, the transfer from Missouri State. A nice chunky yardage on his first carry of the season. Getting some valuable, a lot of guys getting some valuable experience, and being at home, score stays the way it is. A lot of guys will get some valuable experience throughout tonight's ball game. Kennett against a four-man rush, throws underneath. That's Jeremiah Lee again. He'll lower his shoulder close to the first down marker.
They're doing a really nice job. Watch Jaquan Buchanan here. He's running this rail route. He's kind of wheeling up the sideline. The inside linebacker is running with him, and now when you bring the shallow crosser and Jeremiah Lee across, there's nobody there, and it's pretty easy completion with room to run for Jeremiah Lee.
Number 89, Caney, who had that big tackle on special teams a moment ago, he's in the left slot. Kennett throws to the goal line and just a bit too high. But again, Derek couldn't climb the ladder.
It's offsides. It's a free play. It's second and short.
Offsides, 92 defense, 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
3 penalties for 20 yards now for the Cougars. UIndy this week, and then a rare week 2 open week, and then they start a real gauntlet of their schedule as in weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That 5-week stretch, they're on the road for 4 out of 5 games, including all 3 non-conference games at Tiffin, at Ohio Dominican, and a big one against Saginaw Valley. Buchanan off the right side, and he is hit hard and brought down after a minimal gain by Nico Uriarte, the defensive end.
And that's a play they've had a lot of success with. They're bringing the motion across and then running the pin and pull scheme back to the boundary side, and St. Xavier did a really nice job there of getting pressure on that right side and not giving Clinton any seam to run through.
2nd and 10 after no gain on first down. 4-man rush. Kennett throws short to his left to Lee and nowhere to go. Markusovic shows why he's the top returning tackler on this team.
The squad for one play.
Taking down Lee, and Lee will have to sit out, and you need to strap those helmets on. That's 3 guys who've lost a helmet.
Well, Connor was trying to get the ball down the field there, ran that same route where Jeremiah Lee's running the shallow cross after the back runs the kind of wheel rail route, trying to pull that play side linebacker out. But by the time he came back to Jeremiah Lee, Markusovic, as the middle linebacker, is able to get out there and make the play.
Officials come in.
Timeout, Indianapolis. Their first timeout of the half.
UIndy calls their first timeout to think about this 3rd and 10 play here in the red zone. What makes Prairie Farms milk and dairy products so tasty? It's very simple. Quality comes first using milk sourced directly from Indiana farms. You can be sure that every time you purchase Prairie Farms products, you are helping local farm families. Dedicated farmers, happy cows, real milk. That's been the Prairie Farms way for over 80 years. Prairie Farms is Indiana's farmers-owned dairy. 6:08 remaining here in the second quarter. UIndy leading 30-0, facing a 3rd and 10 from the 15. And through a quarter and a half here, Dave, what do you like in this situation? Perhaps the timeout also gets Jeremiah Lee back in using his helmet, but what do you like here on 3rd and 10?
I would expect, they ran the corner, the post corner combination up here to the field side the last time. They may go back to that again.
Play action. Kennett trying to buy time, pressure in the backfield, and he can't buy enough as he is going to be sacked by the linebacker Peyton Nigro, senior from Mokina, Illinois, a transfer from Concordia St. Paul, Division II school in Minnesota. This is going to push him back, and now we will, for the first time, get to see the young freshman Colin Seymour attempt his first career field goal of what will be 41 yards. He kicked a 54-yarder as a senior in high school. New long snapper is Doug Haw. We'll maybe talk about him later. His holder is the backup linebacker, KJ Raudebush. Good snap. Plenty of leg. And off the upright for Seymour, but I like that combination. No question about the young man's leg. That was more than halfway up the upright.
That was good from 50. But kind of the talking point will be with Connor Kennett. In this situation, let's keep the field goal attempt as short as possible. Your primary read's not there. And when you're down close to the red zone there, throw it where only your guy can catch it in the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
or out of bounds, but let's try to avoid the sack in that situation to keep the field goal attempt shorter.
If it's just incompletion, it would have been a 32-yard field goal. UIndy getting another tackle for loss, and this is our guy again, Brandon Smith, redshirt freshman, was on the scout team all last year, getting a lot of these snaps because Kyle Borski is injured, and Brandon Smith is making a name for himself in week 1.
He reads the release of the bat, as the tackle pass sets him. He gets vertical upfield, but then recognizes the throw out there and just goes and tackles the running back. Great play.
Ross will throw it out left into the flat to Mario Price, the freshman, and he is undercut quickly by Clay Schulte and doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be a 3rd and 11. St. Xavier has faced a lot of these long third downs tonight.
Yeah, really nice play. Clay Schulte sheds the block, but the other thing that you note in that situation is Benjamin Honeyus is from his middle linebacker spot is already out there as he makes the catch at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
3 wide receivers bunched to the right. He'll look that way out into the flat. Again, that'll be caught by Hickson, and he'll be pushed out of bounds short of the first down. UIndy flying to the ball again. That is Corrice Crawford, Jr., who is probably very familiar with St. Xavier. He's a transfer from Siena Heights, which is actually coming up on the schedule of week 3 for St. X as Crawford gets out there. And then we'll see Chavers, the backup running back, to punt again. Back deep, it looks like Derek will be back there. And that's a high punt and gets a really beneficial Cougars bounce. It's going to keep rolling and inside the 30. So beneficial punt to push UIndy back on this upcoming series for UIndy. Taking a look, the Hounds, Kennett, 9 of 13, 122 yards, 3 touchdowns. Toriano Clinton, 8 carries, 126 yards rushing, including that 88-yard touchdown. Frank Bentley, 2 catches, 57 yards and a touchdown. Jeremiah Lee, 4 catches, 36 yards and a touchdown as Kennett. Also what I'd like to see, in his 13 attempts, he's spread the ball around a little bit. And we'll see what he does and what the play is here on first down. It'll be handoff to Clinton behind the right side of the offensive line. Quickly into the secondary, past the first down marker. Give him 13 yards on that first down run as he's approaching 150 for the game.
Yeah, again, the motion just does a really nice job. Both it's just holding those inside linebackers for a half a count and allowing the offensive lineman to climb up and get in their face, and that's turning the 3-yard run into a 10-yard run.
Slaybaugh back in. Instead, thrown out to the left, kind of a mini bubble screen. Alonzo Derrick spins out of a tackle. Flag comes in from the back judge.
I think he's going to throw it on Frank Bentley for a hold, and I get kind of biased about these things. I don't think you penalize the effort of those guys that are, everybody looks at as the prima donna, throw me the ball. When they'll go out and block for their teammates like that, if their hands are inside, I think you let them play.
UIndy already 4 penalties for 40 yards. They were not penalized very much at all.
Holding, 81, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
Good eyes by my partner here. Please stay tuned with us for the Ray Skillman Auto Group halftime show. Got a couple of features. Also, we'll be joined live by University of Indianapolis volleyball coach Jason Reed during halftime. Coming off a nice start to the season. 5-2 for the young years. They went 3-1 in the UIndy Invitational this weekend. We'll talk about on the brand new Dr. Sue Willie Court. Another free play on what looks like offsides, and a long pass deep down the right side is too far for Derrick.
But Connor Kennett it's easy for us to sit up here and talk about, oh yeah, he's offsides, go ahead, free play. Throw it down.
Offsides.
He's done it every time.
99 defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Yeah, he's a young guy, but he is not afraid to take chances downfield. And some of his, where he's been flushed out of the pocket or sacked, has been a little bit where he's willing to hold it against the face of the rush to see if that guy will come open down the field.
Exactly. And obviously that's something that's been instilled in him, either by previous, his high school coaches or that Coach Engel and Coach Wilson are telling him. But it's really, he's doing a really nice job.
Finds Eineman wide open in the short flat, and he'll take it upfield for another 10-plus yards and another good chunk of yardage for UIndy. As you talk about Kennett, he threw for 3,700 yards and 37 touchdowns in high school. Not his career, his senior year of high school. That is a player who's willing to push the ball down the field, even in high school. 2-time Southwest Ohio Conference Player of the Year. Went to Cincinnati, to Harrison High School there in the suburbs of Cincinnati. And another flag comes in. This will be a false start.
False start. 63 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the right guard, Zachary Clark.
Yeah, we haven't, he's one of the 3 returners, and we've talked about Keel and Alexis a little bit. That wasn't the way we wanted to mention Zach's name for the first time.
Part of the Columbus East connection. Clark at right guard, Thomas at left tackle. Both played on that 2017 5A state title team at Columbus East. Again, Chris Keevers, Bob Bartolomeo before him, always targeting those teams that are highly successful in high school football and bringing those winners to the south side of Indy. Clinton finding some moves, shuffling in an open field tackle made by Ron Carroll to slow him down.
Bentley and I'm trying to see which safety that is that were tangled up on the penalty earlier. I think they're got a little extra incentive as they go against one another right now.
This is certainly the kind of game where the score is getting, where maintaining your emotions on both sides will perhaps be a point of conversation in the locker room at halftime for both teams. Kennett on 2nd and 10, deep out down the left side, and not able to find Marquez Gillum, a little too strong down the left sideline.
I liked in the situation, so they ran a little exchange route where Gillum started in the slot and he works outside like he's going to run an outside vertical, and then he breaks it off into the comeback, and the ball just sailed on Kennett there. But I think, you know, the idea is really good. That corner is going to stay really high, so now, you know, and he's got the arm strength to throw that 15-yard out over on the far sideline.
5 men coming. Couple guys get through, but Kennett steps through it, throws to his right, caught, and that's a first down for UIndy. Didn't get in last time, but that's Marquez Gillum, the freshman from Ohio, first catch of his career.
That is a really, really good play. That guy's blitzing. That's a corner blitz, untouched. Shakes out of that one, keeps his balance away from the second rusher, and then is able to find Gillum and make the completion.
Handoff to Clinton, short right. He doesn't get much, but we are going to get UIndy has 2 timeouts remaining.
Timeout, Indianapolis. Their second timeout of the half.
That's a timeout. UIndy calls their second timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. The Gordon Flesh Business Technology managed. Please visit at gflesh.com.
So in thought process here, they ran the outside zone play, the stretch play, or wide zone play that they've been having success with back to the short side of the field, knowing they've got 2 timeouts left, because if they pop it again, now you've got Clinton down the sideline for a score, a first down, possibly a touchdown. If it doesn't do well, call a timeout. You've still got 35 seconds. Now it's a matter of let's be smart here, Connor. You know, let's avoid a sack. If we have to throw it away, we throw it away. But we got to get points on this drive because we're not going to start the second half with the ball.
And just a valuable opportunity, regardless of score, to work on your 2-minute, 1-minute, 30-second offense, timeouts, all that kind of thing. That's
yes.
the first time in college that he's got really to do this.
Yeah, good point.
The Hounds will come out with 4 wide this time on 2nd and 9 with Jaquan Buchanan in the backfield trying to spread out the Cougars defense. Just a 3-man rush that time. Deep to his left, and coming out his break was Lee. The ball was a little underthrown. Lee matched up with Jacob Denny, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, if you could combine the last 2 out routes he's thrown here to the field, one sailed on him, and that one he kind of short-armed a little bit.
And I don't know, that might have been the first time where we've seen just kind of that 3-man rush, 8 drop, showing him a different look.
Yeah, they definitely dropped 8 there.
It appears that they're going to do the same again here on 3rd and 9. Again, 3-man rush. Quick throw this time to the left to Derek. Tries to spin out of it. They throw a flag, which appears to be a face mask, as the tackle's made by Nick Schultz. Some extracurriculars as well, but I thought I saw a face mask, and then the flag came down.
Yeah, and so, you know, kind of 2 schools of thought there. They're rushing 3. Okay, if they're going to drop 8, let's throw it quick and see if we can break a tackle. If not, we call timeout, you know, let it run down, call timeout, kick field goal, let's go to halftime.
Yeah, Derek along with Lee, kind of 2 of the guys that you like to get in space. And they had that opportunity there, and being in space, it forced Schultz. He needed to grab the face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
So it wasn't just the hand on the face.
Yeah, that's definitely
that's on our guy Jacob Denny.
Great work by our camera crew. Kennett holding it, throws right of the end zone, touchdown, UIndy. Kamal Ransom picks up his 2nd touchdown of the game end of his young career here in game one. Good patience that time again by Kennett.
Good patience because he was able to be patient. Really nice job by the offensive line there. He, I think, took his eyes to Alonzo Derrick running the corner route, and as he did that, Ransom is able to stay. He kind of opened him up so that as soon as he catches the ball, the defenders had sunk trying to take away the corner route, and it allows Ransom to fall basically into the end zone.
Seymour remains perfect on his point after touchdowns.
Great protection. See right there, the two defensive backs were working towards the corner to Alonzo Derrick. Ransom just has to be patient. It'll come my way, right? He's going to find me. And nice job. And boy, really good first half of football here for Connor Kennett.
Yeah, and Ransom, a young man who knows his way to the end zone. 12 touchdowns his senior year at Evanston Township High School up there. Again, UIndy, much like St. X. I mean, these are teams, NAIA, NCAA Division II, but these are schools that recruit against each other. As UIndy obviously recruits heavily in the Chicagoland area, and obviously that's the core base of the recruiting area for St. Xavier as well. So certainly these are, you have teammates, opponents that played against each other in high school, coaches that see each other at the same games, the same camps on both sides between these two teams. Is 14 seconds, 3 timeouts remaining for St. X. You mentioned St. Xavier will get the ball to start the second half. Again, stay with us for the Ray Skillman Auto Group halftime show. Highlight, stats, again, be joined live by UIndy volleyball coach Jason Reed and a couple other things to bring you all during the upcoming Ray Skillman Auto Group halftime show. Squib kick for UIndy to not take a chance on a long return, as it will give St. Xavier good field position and maybe see if head coach Mike Feminis and his offensive coordinator Mark Yanuli think about doing something here with 12 seconds and 3 timeouts remaining. But again, with your new quarterback, new starting tackles, some new starting wide receivers, several fresh starters on the defensive line and the defensive secondary, I'm sure coaches will always find something, Dave, but I'm not sure what Chris Keever is going to find to harp on his guys too much here in this first halftime of the 2022 season. And we're going to hang on here. I think UIndy maybe didn't like something
Timeout.
that they saw.
Indianapolis, their third and final timeout of the half.
As they'll burn their last timeout as Chris Keevers and his defensive staff, led by defensive coordinator Tim Cooper, saw something they wanted to talk about.
And I'm trying to think back if St. Xavier, they were just in a bunch formation out there, which UIndy, that was the play that Frank Bentley got the holding penalty on. And a lot of teams will get into a bunch to see how the defense is going to play it. And if the defense will put 4 guys over 3, that gives you an advantage in the run game. And if the defense puts 3 guys over 3, then really you can throw that quick pass that UIndy. It's kind of the chess match, So it becomes are you sending that 4th guy out there? You keep him in. What are you doing? And I think they might have just wanted to talk through that to make sure that they don't give up a big play here at the end of the half, because that would be the thing that they would go in and talk about.
Exactly. As UIndy, we've seen this a lot here, kind of in these passing situations. 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 DBs, and 3 of the DBs are 40 yards away from the ball as they've already backed up to the 10-yard line, as they're fine with anything in front of them but want to prevent anything over their head. Ross will throw it out left to the far sideline. Receiver breaks a tackle and gets up the sideline. That's Brant Hickson. Takes 8 seconds off the clock, but now sets up a little bit more realistic play from the 41-yard line to throw it into the end zone.
Yeah, now you're in a situation where I'm sure that Stuart Ross can throw the ball into the end zone and create that, Hail Mary jump ball situation. From the other side of the 50, that may not be possible.
Houston, Brown, and Mabungu are in the end zone. Ross steps up, throws it deep towards the end zone, and two guys there, and it is intercepted on the deflection by Carice Crawford. You say knock it down. The deflection leads to the interception as the Hounds pick up their second.
That's the end of the first
of
half.
the game. And UIndy, an almost flawless first half, will go into the locker room leading 37-0. Stick with us as we'll be back momentarily with our Ray Skillman Auto Group halftime show on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Yep. Listen, do you hear that? I get here early so I can enjoy some peace and tranquility, but not anymore. Before very long, there'll be a bunch of families here, and there'll be a bunch of rugrats running around, ruining what used to be a wonderful, quiet place. But oh no, the Hound Pound Nation will be here. They'll be raising havoc. This place will be bedlam before very long. I wanted to enjoy myself and have a great, peaceful moment before this game starts. But you know what? It's really worth it. Go Hounds!
Good evening and welcome back to Key Stadium. UIndy, an excellent first half of the season opener, 37-0 over St. Xavier. Matt Holmes, and joined now by the head coach of the University of Indianapolis volleyball team, Jason Reed. And Jason, hard to believe, year 10 here leading the Hounds. Can you believe it? A while back, we were both just fresh-faced guys in this profession up in Western Michigan, but now 10 years at the helm. Great to have you with us. Thanks for taking the time to come up here at halftime.
Thank you very much. It goes really fast, doesn't it?
It is.
Kinda, you blink your eyes, you turn around, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like, I'm halfway through a career. This is insane.
Well, 150 wins here at UIndy, 5 to start the year after a couple tournaments here at home. What do you think of this squad? Your 10th team here at UIndy. You're 5-2, got a couple 5-set wins already under your belt. A huge comeback last night, down 2-0 to Bentley, and a comeback to win. What have you seen through 2 weekends here at home from your Greyhounds this year?
Well, we've got a little bit of resolve to us, and it's been good to see. And obviously, you don't want to go out down 0-2 and then have to claw back, but you know that that's going to benefit you down the road. And so, past couple of seasons been down just a little bit. But a lot of the players, have kind of lived through some of those struggles and challenges, and through all that, they're growing, and they've been in the spotlight when maybe they weren't ready, and now we're kind of seeing the benefit of that this year, where they've been in those adverse situations, and it's not a shock anymore. And so it's been cool. I'm happy with the group so far. It's been a good start to the season.
Well, certainly you've got some experience, 3 NCAA tournament appearances, most recently in 2019. Obviously, that's one of the goals and where this team wants to get back to here in 2022. What have you told them? What have you seen? Kind of your message on what needs to happen to maybe the past couple of years, and what has to be there for this team to get back to that point, the NCAA tournament, not just get there, but perhaps win some games.
For sure. Every year is so different, and even though there's a bulk of the group that's been back from last year, the year before that, it's still a new group, and you're still creating that new identity. And every year you try to really focus on the process, and not to give you all the coach speak, but you do. You try to kind of be where your feet are and get a little bit better each day and do all those things. And that very honestly has been the message this year of let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We dropped the first match of the year, and it's kind of like, well, okay, we got to learn from it. We got to move on because we got another match, in another couple of hours, and that's really been the focal point. And so one of the catchphrase for the year so far has kind of been building the room. And we want the room to be exciting and safe, and a place where we can take big swings and be supportive and do all those things. And we feel like if we're going to take care of those intangible things, that the volleyball is going to take care of itself, because they're working hard, they're doing things right, and it should come together. But it's just a daily thing of just being where we're at and trying to get a little bit better each day.
UIndy volleyball coach Jason Reed joining us here at halftime. Let's talk about kind of some of those key pieces. One of those kinds, I know you're a defensive guy, kind of starts in the back. You've got an outstanding libero and McKenna Barnhart, quickly climbing the list of all-time dig leaders in UIndy history. What does she kind of provide, kind of at the start of it, with that defense that you love to teach and coach so much?
Yeah, she just eclipsed that top 5 digs for the career at UIndy, and I know you've been around UIndy for a long time. You know that if you're in the top 5 in that category for volleyball, like that's pretty impressive. But she's been an anchor in the backcourt in the jersey for the last 4 years, and she brings just a ton of stability. She's our best passer, and she just brings that calming presence. I can talk to her about volleyball on a coaching level, and she's able to disseminate some of that information to the rest of the team, and she's an anchor back there. And next year we're going to have some big shoes to fill, but right now we're enjoying having her back there, and she's done really a great job.
And watching you play this year, it really looks offensively like you're looking to spread it out a little bit and not really rely on one person. Tell us about some of the kind of those offensive pieces that you're relying upon. Again, maybe trying to keep opponents guessing with so many different people. It seems like each match, it could be a different person who leads the team in kills.
Yeah, that's kind of nice as a coach, right? When you know that you have more than just one offensive weapon, and you can lean on some different players given different situations. And you give credit to the hitters. Hannah Sabotin's had a really nice start to the year. Grace Hegwood's kind of started to come along here this weekend. She had a really, really nice weekend. Lauren Cullison, who was on the left side this all year last year, we've now moved to the right, actually because of an injury, and she's really done a nice job on kind of short notice picking up the slack at a position. We want to give those guys a ton of credit, but it's you know the sport well enough to know that we're not setting all of those guys unless we have good passing. We're not able to get the ball to those people unless we have good setting, and so it's really kind of a testament to the entire group doing their job at a high rate. And we talked. It's funny you brought that up. We just talked about this the other day, that a lot of places, around 60% of the offense is going through the outside. In a perfect world, if we can get 33% across the board, that would be great. So that's kind of what we'd like to do, and just keep the other side guessing if we can.
UIndy volleyball coach Jason Reed joining us here at halftime. One of the other things, I know you're excited about the team, but obviously if fans have not got back out, a brand new court has been laid in the Ruth Lilly Center, Dr. Sue Willey Court, and also to those of us like myself, students back there, not only a new court, I also hear there's air conditioning in Ruth Lilly, but how exciting is it for this team to get to play on a brand new court, dedicated volleyball lines? I mean, to make it, maybe how much that makes it even feel more like a home to the volleyball program with that new court, Dr. Sue Willey Court. I couldn't think of a better person to have their name on the court either.
Awesome. I mean, it is a tremendous playing space. I've always really liked the gym to begin with because it's intimate and it gets loud and it's a really fun environment. But the court is soft, it's bouncy, and for our non-volleyball folks that are listening, like those are really good things, and it's forgiving on the body as much as a hardwood floor can be, and so that's great. It's lighter in there, and so that's kind of a really nice deal. The air conditioning, we had a tough time getting through a 3-set match in under an hour and a half, because on every time there was a play, somebody hits the ground, we got to spend time wiping up the floor, and so now that's not happening as much. And to your point, you can't think of a better person than Dr. Sue Willey for the namesake of the court, and all the things that she's done for UIndy athletics, all the things that she's done for women's athletics in general. We can't, the court is the smallest gesture that we really owe her, and so I'm proud that I get to coach at that space with her name on the floor.
And I believe I saw, and I don't have it in front of me, I believe we have a dedication coming up the 20th. One of the upcoming home matches. Check out UIndyathletics.com, all the social media channels, and it'll be on there. But there'll be a ceremony coming up to kind of officially, obviously you've played on it, but really to celebrate, Sue and Dr. Willey and the court. But obviously, as we kind of wrap this up here, what's coming up next? What's the schedule look like over the next couple of weeks as you continue to go? I know kind of 2 big non-conference tournaments, but that conference schedule, comes up before you know it.
Yeah, so the landscape of the GLVC has been changing just a little bit with USI and Lindenwood going to the Ohio Valley. I guess kind of late we had to add a 3rd weekend before conference. So we're heading to Indiana, Pennsylvania next weekend to finish up our out-of-conference slate. And then we'll start the conference schedule at McKendree the following weekend. And so we got one last little tune-up before we kind of hit the grind of the GLVC. And at a very short, quick check of the GLVC in these first couple of weekends, it looks like across the country GLVC is doing really well. And no surprise from this coach that it's going to be another gauntlet, another grind, and look forward to that competition each weekend.
Well, Jason, thank you so much. Congrats on the great start to the season so far, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
UIndy volleyball coach Jason Reed join us here, the Ray Skillman Auto Group halftime show. Take a break and come back with more here on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Remember, when it comes to pedestrian safety, Greyhounds don't have 9 lives. No mascots or linebackers were harmed in the making of this video.
At Aqua Systems, we believe in one simple idea, that it should be easy to get great water. That's why we provide a hassle-free sales process with money-back guarantees and the best warranties anywhere, all on equipment made in the USA. In fact, at Aqua Systems, we make it so easy to fix your home's water that 9 out of 10 people who shop with us buy from us. Contact Aqua Systems today. You'll love your water.
Back in my day, we didn't tailgate. We stood in the rain for 3 hours watching the grass grow, and we liked it. Go Hounds!
When medical care is needed, where will you turn? With Community's Connect to Care program, one call or click finds you the closest open appointment. Request a time yourself, or let us do it. From a primary care doctor or virtual visit, to a med check or community clinic at Walgreens. Just call or click. You can go right to our website or to me. Connect to Care from Community.
Remember, when it comes to pedestrian safety, Greyhounds don't have 9 lives. No mascots or linebackers were harmed in the making of this video.
And welcome back. It's halftime at Key Stadium. UIndy leading St. Xavier 37-0. I want to take this opportunity. We just talked with UIndy volleyball coach Jason Reed, but one of the teams that had one of the most outstanding seasons in school history a season ago for UIndy was the UIndy men's soccer program. An amazing season for UIndy a season ago, making a run far into the postseason, going to the NCAA Final Four. Head coach John Higgins gets a new job, goes to Xavier, new head coach for UIndy, and we'll throw to that right now. A little bit more on the UIndy men's soccer program.
The preseason has been really good for us. We've brought in a big group of guys to add into the returners that we've got coming back. And if you look at the progression of our games and what we played, and you take the results out of the games, we saw progress in every single game. We got better at what we wanted to do and who we wanted to be every single game.
Yeah, no, I think it's been good. A lot of opportunity to learn, and with a lot of new players coming in, it's been good to kind of have the time to adjust to lots of different playing styles and different personnel on the team. But overall, I think it's been very positive. Coming off the back of 2 wins and a draw, I think, it shows good growth as well in our performances too.
Yeah, I think last year was a special year, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of, but it also sets the tone for what the program's about and what we want to achieve. So that helps us prepare for this year, and that helps get the new guys on board quicker, because every day in training, they're driving the standard. They're driving the expectation of the program. It's not me doing it, it's from within.
Yeah, I think the culture and kind of a lot of the core of the program stays the same. Yeah, we do lose a few players, but I think we've recruited really, really well. We've brought in some very, very good players to replace those players, and the expectation doesn't change.
For me, I don't read much into these polls, right? Coaches, they do it as easy as they can, and there's not a lot of thought that goes into it. So for us, it's an every day we have to prove ourselves, right? We have to prove that we should be number one. We have to prove that we should be a top 5 Division II program.
You know, we take it with a pinch of salt. I mean, we've earned those positions, but for us, it doesn't necessarily mean a lot. You know, we still have to go out there every day, every match day, and do it and win. So it's nice to have those accolades so early on, but I think we know what we have to do to maintain that and to keep pushing that and keep growing.
This global pandemic has challenged us all. No one is immune to the profound effect that it has had on our lives and our livelihoods. This pandemic has brought many things into a clearer focus. We thrive best when in community. We treasure our freedom. We have much more that we want to see and do. There's still so much more left to experience together. At Free Enterprise, when challenges come, we meet them with new resolve and new plan. Cleaning and sanitary practices, we've implemented extra precautionary measures, including a new monofoil electrostatic spraying system. This same system is used in hospitals and by legacy brands like Disney. Rest assured that at Free Enterprise, we always take great pride in going above and beyond to provide you and your group with the best care and service possible. We're excited to get our wheels turning and your group moving. Reach out to our Free Enterprise team and book your group's charter today. Travel Free Enterprise, because anything else is just a bus ride.
Great look at Key Stadium as a fast start for the Hounds, up 37-0, but pitching some new pieces and new things for UIndy football this year, and want to take a moment here at halftime to take a little deeper look at the UIndy football squad.
Honestly, when I came in, I was really impressed with the culture. You know, I think it starts at the top down from Coach Keevers, but the way the guys work, the way the staff works, the way guys communicate and work with each other is unbelievable. The energy and effort guys put in over the summer, in the fall, just seeing guys work, grind together. You know, there's a history and tradition of success and winning, and guys want that, and guys know what it takes to do that. So it's been an unbelievable opportunity to join that and be part of that culture and hopefully add something to that.
Coach Engel, he really came in and really shored up like the offense. I mean, he got the wide receivers depth, all that going in. He got that shored up, so now we're all on the same page. So I think our offense is really, pass game wise, has really took a big step with him coming in and helping us out there.
Connor Kennett's been taking reps with the first team this fall. Obviously, he's a guy that was the backup last year and got some reps in games. You can see from the spring to now how much time and effort and work that he's put in. He's really made great strides. He's really playing well right now. He's doing a great job as a leader, you know, not just with the offense, but with the group, interacting, getting to know the young guys, helping to bring them along. But, you know, you love the way he's playing from a leadership perspective. He's being efficient. He knows what he's supposed to be looking for and taking advantage of. And, you know, he's really fortunate. We're really good in front of him up front with the offensive line, and we've got really good playmakers in the backfield and out at the skill positions that he's done a great job being efficient and getting those guys the ball and opportunities to have success.
Yeah, coming into this camp, my mindset was just going to be the best I can be. Last year we had a guy coming back, returning starter, so I was kind of competing with him, kind of competing with other guys, and then this year was just kind of my mindset was just kind of be the best that I can be and try and help this team out the best I can.
You know, it's a great group. There is a great blend of guys that are returning to the program and newcomers. We brought in a transfer from San Jose State, Matt Dertarosian, and a couple young guys as well, incoming freshmen, and just seeing those guys work, seeing those guys compete. You know, they do a great job on the field competing against each other, but when we're in the classroom, when we're in the meeting room, working together, helping each other learn, understanding that the group success is our success. So it's been a great group to work with, and seeing them learn and have fun and get better each day has been awesome.
The quarterback group as a whole, I think, is a real tight group. We have Conk that's been here since I've gotten here, and then we have Mateo that came in with me, and then we got a transfer in right now, and then 2 freshmen. So I think we've really welcomed them 3 in to the quarterback group, and I think they fit in well with us. So I think the group as a whole has really gotten real tight over this camp and has gotten close. I think fans can expect a lot out of this offense. I mean, we got All-American Torrey back there. We got wide receivers. We have a lot of athletes that can make plays, and when they get the ball in their hands, they can do a lot after the catch. And so I think offensively we should be rolling. I think we're going to get the steps. We're going to get everything cleaned up the rest of this camp, and I think we should be rolling.
You know, I think fans can expect an exciting offense. You know, we're very good up front. We're going to be able to run the ball. We're going to be able to pass pro. We've got an electric back in the backfield in Toriano Clinton, who's a really good player that has an opportunity to score anytime he touches the football. And, you know, we've got great receivers out on the perimeter. You know, I think you're going to see a team that can run the ball, a team that can be explosive in the passing game, and hopefully put points on the board.
Listen, do you hear that? I get here early so I can enjoy some peace and tranquility, but not anymore. Before very long, there'll be a bunch of families here, and there'll be a bunch of rugrats running around, ruining what used to be a wonderful, quiet place. But oh no, the Hound Pound Nation will be here. They'll be raising havoc. This place will be bedlam before very long. I wanted to enjoy myself and have a great, peaceful moment before this game starts. But you know what? It's really worth it. Go Hounds!
Going to be a lot of these, and it started off first score of the day. Toriano Clinton, 88 yards to the house as UIndy did a lot of things right. 37-0 in the first half, Dave.
Yeah, really good effort. You know, Coach Keevers is telling me before the game, you know, a little nervous about our defensive secondary. They've got a returning quarterback and 3 receivers, and you know he's playing a first time starting quarterback. How are we going to look? And boy, did all things click for the boys wearing black today. Great pass right there, the corner route to Jeremiah Lee. Here we see him look at the corner, come off to the underneath receiver. Yeah, Connor Kennett just had a really good first half as a starter in a college football game.
So we'll take a look at, after our houndgear.com halftime highlights, our free enterprise halftime statistics. And coaches preach balance all the time. 174 passing yards, 174 rush yards. Couldn't be better balance in the first half for the UIndy offense.
I mean, you talk about really an ideal first half. You talked as we were going to halftime, what does Coach say, what does he pick on to say we've got to do better? Sometimes what you say is that's how you're supposed to play football. Now the challenge is go out and do it again. So, we don't know what the message was, but I have a feeling it was along those lines.
Well, we're talking a lot about the offense, but obviously let's look at on the other side of that column. St. Xavier's been held to negative 24 rush yards, and that's not just sack yardage. I mean, the run has been totally bottled up. They forced 3 turnovers, a couple of interceptions, a fumble recovery. Defensively, what have you liked and seen out of Tim Cooper and Chris Keevers in this defense in the first half against what we thought was a pretty experienced and what we thought would be potent St. Xavier offense?
I think, one thing we thought we needed to pressure the passer and get after Stewart Hall a little bit, and they've done that. We noted, one of the sacks came out of the nickel package when 2 of the defensive linemen come out of the game and they put, skinny, fast guys in there. But it doesn't change Coach Cooper's aggressive mentality, and they're still bringing 5 after the quarterback and able to get home. And they forced him really, the one interception was strictly a matter of the pressure that got in his face from Xavier, and he's just throwing it to the outside right to Edding. And those types of things, they make a big difference in especially in the psyche of the quarterback as well.
Well, it's been some of these young guys stepping up. Brandon Smith, redshirt freshman, 3 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss. Kevontae Houston, 3 tackles and had the fumble recovery. Jalen Wilson getting some more time. We thought we would talk a lot about Xavier Guerriere and Benjamin Honeyus. I mean, they have played well, but it's these young guys that have really stepped up, and the guys getting more experience that you've got to like to see as a coaching staff for UIndy. going into the second half. Some of the other stats. We mentioned Clinton, 11 carries, has not lost a yard, 145 yards rushing. Connor Kennett shows his legs a little bit, has a couple of nice rushes. He's 14 of 20 for 175 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jeremiah Lee, 4 catches, 36 yards and a touchdown. Alonzo Derrick, 3 catches, 24 yards. Frank Bentley, 2 catches, 57 yards. John Eineman, 2 catches. Also 2 catches, 2 touchdowns for Ransom. Derrick, 3 catches. The young quarterback, Gillum, has a catch. Spreading it out among 14 completions among 6 different receivers across that first half for Connor Kennett. We'll see him and probably see a lot of guys here during the second half. But we're getting ready for our second half kickoff and want to thank everybody for joining us for the Ray Skillman Auto Group halftime show. As again, UIndy will kick off and we'll see what kind of adjustments have come up. Mike Femenis and Mark Unuli as offensive coordinator for St. Xavier, and what they can try to do to just, the game may be out of reach. You never know, it's college football, but they've got several more games to go and things that they can do before they get on that bus to head back to Chicago. Seymour will kick off. A low kick bounces and picked up at the 10 by Pringle. And one man's there, slows him down. That's Sam Flowers, the linebacker, and then Brandon Thomas, number 9, a redshirt freshman defensive back from Ohio, finishes him off. And very good coverage by that UIndy special teams to make St. Xavier start at the 11.
Yeah, that really nice job. We had the breakdown in the one previous and that led to the big return there. Even though Pringle slips out of the first tackle, the second guy makes sure that we get him on the ground. That was Brandon Thomas. Nice job finishing the play.
Ross stays in to start the second half and throws it out to the flat to Javen Mays, and UIndy is there quickly to finish that play off. Schulte, the linebacker.
Really nice job shedding the block there by Schulte to make the tackle. But again, we noted their negative passing yards, right? Early in the game, they did have some success on first down, throwing the quick route to, as really an extended handoff. Obviously that's one of the adjustments. That's the first play out from halftime for a second half adjustment.
Quick throw again. That's knocked up in the air and incomplete. I think that was Jacob Jones, the big defensive tackle, 2-time first team all GLVC. Not a guy that maybe picks up a lot of stats, but kind of an anchor in that line to free things up for all those tackles the linebackers make.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. Part of his job is he's got to occupy, if he occupies 2 offensive linemen and their double team isn't able to move him back into the lap of his linebacker, then he's doing his job, and he does a very good job of it.
UIndy in their nickel package, send 4. Ross steps up, and Guerriere, the spy, takes him down after a gain of maybe 1 at the line of scrimmage, but nothing going on the first drive of the second half for St. X.
Yeah, so run a little stunt there. You see the tackle and the nose twist, and now 4 guys rush. Xavier Guerriere could be the 5th rusher, or, as you noted, he's now the spy. If the quarterback breaks the pressure, breaks the pocket, now he's right there, and he's going to mirror whatever he does. Nice job by number 27, Xavier Guerriere.
Shavers will punt again. This a low bullet over the head of Derrick, and he's going to pick it up on the bounce at about the 32. And good coverage by St. X on that low punt. The bounce really helped, but first man there to finish off is Vince Kleinite, junior linebacker.
That ball was, that came off his foot like a rocket.
He's hit some high short ones. I don't know if anyone's expecting the bullet that time.
Just bang.
And
look at Caney back there.
Blocking at the end. Again, as I mentioned, that's Caney for UIndy. As we mentioned, a game and this kind of score, physicality and chippiness, something to watch here in the second half. Slaybaugh get the first handoff of the second half going to his right, and he is brought down quickly in the backfield. Ron Carroll, junior from University Park, Illinois, first team all-league a season ago with 72 tackles, and we've called his name a bit. He's been very good from that strong safety position for St. Xavier.
Yeah, UIndy tried to false key that there. They ran the outside zone away from where the H-back was going to see if they could pull, some of the linebackers, and they weren't having any of it. They ran right with Slayball.
Buchanan is in, and Slayball's now on the sideline standing next to Clinton. And Clinton just has his helmet on his side. He does not look like a guy who might be coming in again anytime soon. Buchanan up the middle and holding on for dear life is Jalil Holloway. But a good job by the little man to drag it back to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of 3 yards.
Yeah, nice run there. Just fairly simple inside zone play to the right. Good leg drive there. Jaden Buchanan, you walk, obviously he's not a real tall guy, but you walk by him on the field and you see the musculature of him. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. He's dragging the pile there for an extra 2 yards.
4 wide receivers on a 3rd and 9 for the Greyhounds. 4-man rush. Kennett pump fakes, throws deep down the middle of the field for Eineman, and just beyond his grasp at the 25 of St. Xavier.
Good patience there by Connor Kennett in the pocket, and as he stepped up, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't take off. I felt like the middle of the field was going to open up, depending obviously on the route combination. That good throw there, taking a chance on 3rd and 9, pushing the ball down the field.
First time that we've gotten to see brand new true freshman punter Ryan Zoller as he gets knocked down and there's a flag. Zoller, a true freshman from Louisville St. Xavier High School, and he was knocked down. I think that was St. Mary Issue Special Teams, Kleinite. We'll get a great look here from our crew.
The question here will be, did it get?
Oh, no, excuse me.
I don't think they touched it. Now is it going to be running into or roughing?
Yeah, that's Justin Yazel, 54, freshman defensive lineman from
running into
Plainfield.
the kicker, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, because he hit, that wasn't a great punt, so I think they might kick it again.
They'll punt it again, I think. And freshman, game 1.
Yeah.
Let
him punt again.
Let him punt again. He
didn't punt at all in the first half.
And
His fresh.
And as many in-game reps as he can get. I mean, you're not telling your offense to go out there and perform poorly, but when the situation, he's got to be ready.
And I know you practice special teams, but I know that's one of those things. There's not a lot of times where maybe you got live fire special teams, rushers coming. But Zoller's tested. He won a state championship last year, the 6A state title in Louisville with Louisville St. Xavier. Just 38 yards per punt. And again, long snapper Doug Hall is a strength and conditioning graduate assistant who playing from Valparaiso, who they just kind of found to do the long snapping. He was not originally recruited to do long snapping. It just kind of worked out that they found him. And now this is a much better punt by Zoller, and called for the fair catch inside the 20. But yeah, kind of continuing. 36, Doug Hall comes down to UIndy, gets hired to work in strength and conditioning, and had some long snapper things that maybe wasn't going, and some conversation with the team. Words get back to Kiever that there's a strength and conditioning GA who's been a long snapper. He might be pretty good, and comes out and he turns in to the starting long snapper, where he still spends primarily, speaking of practice, they don't have a lot of his time because he's got to spend the majority of his time training the other teams at UIndy in the weight room. Pass by Ross, quick middle of the field, and that is caught by Hickson.
And quick route, quick slant over the middle, good play, and really they did a nice job there picking up the 2 inside backer cross dog blitz there. Good concentration for the catch.
Shavers goes in motion, but a flag.
False start, 50, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's the center, Matt Olson. 7th penalty for the Cougars for 40 yards tonight.
Well, and the frustrating thing there, your center should always know the snap count, but you just negated one of your first positive first down plays that you've had since the first quarter.
Quick throw again on a bubble screen out to the left to Pringle, and again, great pursuit, Xavier, and again, we mentioned him again, Brandon Smith, the defensive end, getting all the way out there.
Well, and so that play, they're trying to throw the quick wide receiver screen and get a lineman out in front of it, and the snap is just a little bit off, which disrupts the timing from the quarterback to the receiver, and part of the reason why Brandon Smith's able to chase that tackle out to the flat and get in on the play.
Xavier comes this time. Ross gets away to his left, throws down the sideline. Incomplete for Quinn. Cavante Houston on the coverage.
Yeah, right now UIndy, in the use of the nickel package, the combination of the blitz package with nickel, and then there they drop into coverage and they're playing 2 high safeties with some man coverage underneath. As he breaks contain, there's still no one open because of the man coverage.
This is who we thought was going to be the punter the entire game, Joe Polselli. It's actually the 3rd punter we've seen, and drives back Derek to the 38. Backs up a little bit, looks up the sideline, and it's a couple yards on the return. Have you tried a Prairie Farms milk snack? Delicious chocolate cake bars filled with real milk cream and covered in chocolate. They're made with no preservatives or artificial colors, perfect as an anytime, anywhere snack. You can find them in the dairy section. Visit the website at prairiefarms.com/milksnacks and enter to win a free 4-pack. Dedicated farmers, happy cows, real milk. That's been the Prairie Farms way for over 80 years. Prairie Farms is Indiana's farmer-owned dairy.
See if they can get a little something going here. Get a good opening play here on first down.
That looks like Kellen Porter back in for UIndy. Play action. Quick throw out to the right, and that is knocked down by the defensive line. Active hands. Van Williams Jr. 96, the man to knock it down.
Yeah, they're trying to use just a little play action.
Actually, I think that's actually Peyton Campbell, the defensive tackle, 99, who got it.
Well, those you really, when you know you're throwing that quick route like that, you really want the lineman to fire out and fire into the midsection area of those defensive linemen so they keep their hands down.
Quick throw out to the left. And a couple nice moves by Stephen Towns Jr. to get upfield before he's pursed out of bounds. Close, about 2 yards short of the first down. Towns Jr., redshirt senior, a transfer from McKendree.
Yeah, nice job. And I'm not sure that Kennett didn't read that, and he had the option of giving the ball or saying, hey, I like the play out on the perimeter. I'm going to pull it and throw it out there and see what we can make happen on the perimeter.
Handoff inside to Porter, gets a big hole going to his left. The first down and plenty more inside the 30-yard line. It's kind of helping to seal along that left side is we've also got a new left tackle, Tyler Rohde, the redshirt freshman from Brookfield, Wisconsin, in at left tackle now getting some work and help to open that hole.
Yeah, and I really think part of what helps that is on the previous play, the ball went to the perimeter. And so now that, you know, you're going to create some running lanes sometimes when those guys are afraid you're going to press them on the outside.
Handoff to Porter again up the middle. Brought down by Iobami Arakoyo after a gain of a couple.
Yeah, that play right there was just a matter of the entire offensive line. That whole, it looked like a black wall just moving the entire defensive front for St. Xavier 4 yards in, and that's what we got. We got 4 yards, but they moved them 4 yards off the ball right there.
3 down linemen for the Cougars. Kennett will roll to his right. Looking in the end zone, pump fakes, then throws, and looking for Towns as he held in and took a hit, but Towns wasn't able to bring it in. That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, he's on 2nd and 6. He's thinking touchdown. He being Connor Kennett, and I think potentially tomorrow when they meet and watch film, the thing that is going to be talked about is when you got your first option open, take it. You know, you'll be able to push the ball down the field later. But I think he could have thrown it out there to Towns on the quick out.
Handoff to Porter again, going to his left side, inside the 20, pushes forward, and it'll be just past the marker as UIndy will pick up its 19th first down of the night. As UIndy approaching 400 yards of total offense, they have held St. Xavier to 50. Just an all-around dominant performance.
That was a really nice run by Kellen Porter. And the thing I liked here, down here on the bottom, Rory Helsley, the true freshman. So he blocked his guy by just running a fade, just like he's doing right now.
Slaybaugh again that time. He's back in. Markusovich and Arakoyo bring him down after a gain of about 2.
They brought Rhodey in the game, and they've run right behind him 3-4 times on this drive.
Yeah, the rest of the 4 remain the same. So it's definitely a look, give it an opportunity to get a look at Rhodey after Tyler Thomas played the first half at left tackle. Slaybaugh again. Goes right into the middle. You can't find much running room at all.
Yeah, they ran a little power play there and just couldn't get the movement on the interior 3 technique to create the seam. They had a pretty good kick-out block, and Kednall Alexis is pulling around to lead up on the linebacker, but you get that initial movement to get space for Alexis to get vertical.
And a flag again, as this will be the 7th.
False start, 80, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's the wide receiver, the true freshman, Helsley. That is the 7th penalty for UIndy. They averaged about 52 penalty yards per game a season ago, and a little bit over that now at 55. A couple of those have been some personal foul calls that were could be perceived by Greyhound fans as borderline. Kennett rolls to his right again. Throwing to the corner and not able to bring it in is Ransom. Good coverage by St. X.
Yeah, it was good. They brought pressure, and we actually sprinted away from, rolled out away from the pressure. The pressure was coming from Kennett's left, but we ran out of real estate there. The further he got, Ransom wasn't able to maintain leverage and stay inside the field of play.
Nick Schultz able to keep up as Colin Seymour will attempt his 2nd field goal of the night. This one from 36 yards in the left hash. His first one would have been good for maybe 55, but hit the left upright. This one is up, and it is good. The first field goal in the young career of Colin Seymour extends UIndy's lead to 40-0 here on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Remember, when it comes to pedestrian safety, Greyhounds don't have 9 lives. No mascots or linebackers were harmed in the making of this video.
Back in my day, we didn't tailgate. We stood in the rain for 3 hours watching the grass grow, and we liked it. Go Hounds!
Matt Holmes and former Greyhound quarterback David Burton with you from Kiesel Field at Key Stadium. The Greyhounds season opener of the 2022 campaign off to a 40-0 start as they get their first points on the board with a 36-yard field goal for freshman Colin Seymour. And now this UIndy defense will go back to work, which is so far has held St. Xavier to 50 yards on 28 plays. They have negative 23 yards rushing and just 73 pass yards, and Seymour gets his first touchback. It's crazy, booms that into the back of the end zone. Indiana Members Credit Union is proud to support the University of Indianapolis Athletics and offers a free UIndy debit card with a free checking account and e-statements. Get your UIndy debit card today and show your school spirit. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online at imcu.com. Membership savings required, federally insured by NCUA.
A little adrenaline after the first career collegiate field goal there.
Yeah,
Boom,
I think
one
they
through the end zone.
Yeah, they took the governor off, as I think the past couple ones they were trying to get a little bit more directional on his kicks. That time they just let him show off his leg. Shavers is bottled up immediately by UIndy, as that is Aaron Barnett again, the defensive end.
Yeah, St. Xavier's just not been able to get anything going in the run game.
Hands off to Shavers, and it's bobbled a little bit, and Gary Ayer falls on him, but that's going to be another loss of yardage on the play.
Well, they're really struggling with these snaps. I mean, that one was just a whole person to Hall's right.
As we mentioned, Matt Olson, the center, this is his first career start. Junior from Valparaiso, Indiana. Another long third down. St. Xavier's just 1 of 7. They throw out short to Hickson, and he is bottled up, nowhere to go. Crawford, who had an interception at the end of the first half, makes the tackle in the open field. 4th down, and the offense is staring. I mean, looks like Mike Famis thinking about, and they're going to punt instead, but thought long and hard about it.
Well, and you mentioned this coming out of halftime. You know, it's college football. Who knows what's going to happen in the second half? But no matter what happens, this is week 1. You're trying to find something to build upon heading into next week. And right now, you know, St. X is still looking for that thing to build upon.
Polselli with the punt. And it'll bounce, and UIndy will back away, and he'll take over at the 40. And I think on both sides, perhaps a little bit too, that you're not quite sure about. Obviously, this is the first game. Things are going. How much more do you show on tape without maybe getting a little bit vanilla as well? As again, UIndy has an open week next week, rare open week. Then they go on the road to Tiffin, who they lost to here at home last year, 2017. In a game we had here that they just kind of let slip away and weren't quite able to finish with a 4th quarter lead.
So
then
that's the thing that you're talking about from the UIndy perspective. You know, I don't think they're really worried about the vanilla thing. They're worried about making sure they finish games.
And new quarterback in as Christian Conkling will take over as Connor Kinnett's night appears to have come to a close. Handoff to Porter, bouncing it out to the outside, and he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage for no gain. But going back to the schedule for UIndy, at Tiffin week 3, who they lost to. Then they go to Ohio Dominican, a team, again, they played here at home, lost in double overtime 19-16. not only not able to finish, but last year games, really competitive games where they weren't even able to get 20 points. So the offense, even with Toriano Clinton, so some of the things worked on there. Then you get Southwest Baptist here at home, catch a break, one of the lower teams in the team. At McKendree, who was picked to finish third in the GLVC. And then on October 15th, you go to perennial Division II power, Saginaw Valley, as Conklin keeps it on the quarterback keeper and will bring up 3rd and 3. So that's a brutal 4 games in 5 weeks that is really going to set up your season, because you're going to need to get maybe 2 of those 3 non-conference wins on the road.
On the road,
and sweep in the GLVC to put yourself in position for a playoff berth.
Right, and as you sit here and you're the preseason favorite in the GLVC, okay, but the thing that's going to matter for that NCAA, bid and potential hosting of game or whatever are definitely going to be those 3 road games.
Hand to Porter, and he is going to get dropped for a loss. He's hit by Van Williams Jr. first, and that'll force a punt for UIndy. And Jason Reed, UIndy volleyball coach, mentioned at halftime, but some changes in the league. Southern Indiana and Lindenwood are transitioning to Division I. Southern Indiana rival but didn't play football. Lindenwood is the defending GLVC champion. They're out of the league. That had been UIndy's toughest test of late. Beat them last year, won the league there, beat them a couple times, is out of the league. And as you look at scores from around the league, it has not been, a great start to the season. This is a booming punt by Zoller. But Truman, who was picked to finish second in the GLVC, loses his home to Davenport 20-19. McKendree does get a win. They go on the road and win in overtime at Northern Michigan. And then the rest of the scores have not been competitive. At home, Missouri, and these are D2 games, Missouri S&T loses to South Dakota Mines, as we do have a flag on the field. Missouri S&T loses to South Dakota Mines 43-20. Glenville State goes and wins at Quincy 44-15. Colorado Mesa goes to William Jewell and wins 37-14. So if the rest of the league's not picking up non-conference wins, you got to take care of the conference, and UIndy needs to build their own resume.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 33 of the receiving team, 15-yard penalty will be enforced half the distance. That's his first unsportsmanlike of the game.
That's Nico Uriate, backup defensive end. And again, you like what you see here against NAIA number 11, but still a big game the next weeks 3 and 4 on the road with your new starting quarterback, and games you got to have getting that first road experience. Going home, an Ohio kid will get to go to Ohio for his first 2 road games at Tiffin and at Ohio Dominican. Minute 43 to go here.
He definitely he passed his first home test. It is different to go on the road and you go through a different routine and things of that nature. But I would definitely say he passed the home test with flying colors.
Arm is kind of hit at the line, thrown up in the air, looking for Mays. Barnett kind of pushed the right tackle back into him, but actually I thought Ross got a little bit more on that throw than I thought he originally did when the pressure came from there. 13 Barnett, yeah, just pushing the right tackle, Alex Pavlov.
Well, and now from up here, I thought it was closer to number 10 to Pringle than it actually was.
Hands it again and just slings it up the side, and that's going to be another interception. Michael Brown steps in front of the receiver, cutting up the middle, still on his feet. He'll be brought down by a lineman at about the 6-yard line. Second interception of the career for Michael Brown. Second team all GLVC a season ago. A hometown kid, the sophomore from North Central High School here in Indianapolis.
Well, and again, I just felt like talking to Coach Keevers, the thing that they wanted to do to help what he felt was kind of an inexperienced young secondary was get pressure on the quarterback, and there's a prime example why just he had no time to throw. He's got a receiver running uncovered, but he can't step into a throw and drive the ball to him. He throws it off his back foot. Michael Brown's able to react and pick it off.
4th interception for the UIndy defense And taking over with a 1st and goal. Conklin will hand off to Porter. Hesitates behind the line, drives forward. They'll be brought down at about the 6. Well, we hit on keys to the game. Establish Clinton, check. Get Kennett into a rhythm, check. Pressure the passer. And maybe it doesn't show up with a bunch of sacks, but what it shows up is his 4 interceptions, and he's 59% completion. He's only thrown for 74 yards.
Well, and the completions he's had in this half have all been quick throws.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's been a completion over 10 yards. Everything what he has complete has been to the flat or short. He's tried to push it downfield a few times without much success. Conklin will throw into the corner of the end zone, and going up and bringing it down for the touchdown is Heltzy.
The 2 young receivers, there's a reason they're playing week 1 of their college career. That was a big time catch right there.
And the first completion in the career of Christian Conklin. And what a catch it is by the true freshman, Rory Heltzy. And he's used to making big catches in big games. He had 13 receptions for 218 yards in the 3A state championship game at Lucas Oil Stadium for Gibson Southern, led by Brady Allen, who is now playing at Purdue.
And there was multiple snaps in that game where Brebeuf's coverage was designed. There were 2 guys dedicated to him, and he still had 13 catches.
Yeah, 13 catches, 218 yards. Last year, overall, he had 1,751 receiving yards to lead the state. That's the 8th most in the history of Indiana high school football. What a find for this UIndy coaching staff. 6'3", 189. He'll get bigger, but he kind of reminds me of the guys maybe as he develops who maybe you've been missing, that big receiver like you had with Reese Horn several years ago to give you that big target who can maybe stretch the field, but also in this red zone, go up and get it like he just did right there.
That was really impressive right there. I mean, as a true freshman, to go up and make that play, those are the kind of plays that I certainly hope we see more of in the next 3-4 years.
Well, in 5 touchdown passes, 4 by Kennett, 1 by Conklin, 3 of those to the true freshman, 2 by Ransom, and now Heltzy gets 1 as well. Spreading it around. Toriano Clinton improving already, his career best yards per game and yards per rush average. This is Quinn. He's brought down by Jalen Wilson. The St. X will take over here with 27 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Help UIndy Athletics continue to succeed by giving to the Greyhound Club. Your support enables them to compete at the highest level. Please visit getinvolved.uindy.edu/Greyhound Club. Give to make your gift today. And that definitely helps, as last year UIndy had his best ever finish in the Directors' Cup amongst overall athletic success in Division II athletics, obviously highlighted by the national championship in women's lacrosse. One of the newest, along with men's lacrosse, newest programs, and almost immediately flipping that and turning that around and winning a national championship out in St. Louis last spring. Run up the middle, and that'll probably be enough for us to run out of time here in the 3rd quarter. And again, UIndy, the dominance continues, and especially what you like to see with bringing some guys in defensively, still not letting St. Xavier get anything going through 3 quarters here at Key Stadium. It's UIndy 47, St. Xavier 0.
At Aqua Systems, we believe in one simple idea, that it should be easy to get great water. That's why we provide a hassle-free sales process with money-back guarantees and the best warranties anywhere, all on equipment made in the USA. In fact, at Aqua Systems, we make it so easy to fix your home's water that 9 out of 10 people who shop with us buy from us. Contact Aqua Systems today. You'll love your water.
When medical care is needed, where will you turn? With Community's Connect to Care program, one call or click finds you the closest open appointment. Request a time yourself, or let us do it. From a primary care doctor or virtual visit, to a med check or community clinic at Walgreens. Just call or click. You can go right to our website or to me. Connect to Care from Community.
First play of the fourth quarter, and we get a catch over the middle. Brought down by Brant Hickson. And the coverage bringing him down is Sam Flowers.
Yeah, we're in the nickel package there, and really Sam's in good position. That's a really nice job of hanging on by the receiver.
Ross throws again left, and that's going to be a first down reception for Justin Pringle. His 5th reception of the game. He's been one of the favorite targets so far, him and Hickson. For Stuart Ross. The Cougars going quick as Ross lofts one high down the left sideline. But to your point again, I mean, you're right, he's barely setting his feet and just trying to get that thing out of there, really thinking about the rush now of UIndy.
Right, the two completions were both, hitches where the ball's coming out of his hand quick, and he's getting completions, but the safeties from UIndy are coming downhill so fast, sometimes those balls get broken up just because of the jarring hit that comes on the tackle.
Yeah, Hounds bring 6 this time. Jalen Wilson in the backfield and gets to the ankles of Ross. And they're talking about whether there was a receiver in the area and whether they're going to throw a flag for intentional grounding.
I think they're trying to determine if he was outside the tackle box.
Talking to each other, but it looks like they're going to determine that he did, because the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, but if there was a...
Right. Well, the referee signaled incomplete pass.
Yeah.
I saw him
Yeah, definitely that was true, yeah.
So, and the ball was snapped from the hash. He was...
Good pursuit by Jalen Wilson, the sophomore from Indianapolis, who played his high school football out on the west side at Brownsburg. Ross standing in the pocket, steps away from pressure. Guerrier steps through that tackle attempt. More pressure comes, and Guerrier gets back on the play, along with a couple other Greyhounds, as the secondary held up for a couple of seconds there and allowed the linebackers and defensive line a chance to rally to the quarterback.
Oftentimes when you see a quarterback, he breaks contain here, slips out of Guerrier's tackle, makes Honey, at some point somebody's going to come open, and it just didn't happen for him there.
Yeah, credit to that defensive secondary. Holding up. 4th down, they're going for it. Ross will throw to his left to Pringle. He's got a couple mans to beat, and he's not going to do it. Brought down in the open field by Cavante Houston, and a turnover on downs for the Greyhounds. And again, you still see guys like Mavungu, Houston, Michael Brown out in that defensive secondary even here in the fourth quarter. I got to think a lot of that is to what your point, just a lot, like we were talking about Pioneer, just a lot about reps.
So, yeah, when you're an inexperienced secondary, young becomes a relative term. And especially in this situation, the ball's going to be in the air, right? You're not going to get this quality of repetition in any practice situation.
Conklin remains in at quarterback. Hands off to Jaquan Buchanan for a gain of 2.
And now your focus here for UIndy is, clean up small details and keep that clock moving.
I'm looking at it now, trying to see. It looks like we've got some of these new guys too. Some on the offensive line. I see Andrew Zulu at center, the sophomore from Ben Davis. Ryan Butts, freshman from Decatur at right tackle. Handoff to Porter, up the middle, spinning. A guy you know well.
I know number 67 out there.
Grant Ray, freshman from Roncalli, member of the 2020 state title team, is out there at right guard. So, yeah, I believe that's Ethan Sturgeon, the redshirt freshman, New Palestine, in at left guard. So they've brought in kind of the entire what we thought might be the second unit on offensive line for UIndy again, as we talked about, to continue to get reps. Handoff to Buchanan, running to his right on third down. Steps through a tackle, and he's going to pick up 10+ into the secondary before he is tackled by Vince Kleinheit, but a big first down for UIndy.
Really nice job here, 67 and 66. Grant Ray and then
Andrew Zulu.
The center, Andrew Zulu. They work the combo there on the outside zone, and then Grant is able to come off that up to the linebacker and completely square him up, and it turns the 4-yard gain into a 10-yard gain.
And again, got to see some of that burst that Buchanan's got that he showed towards the end of last season when he was playing as the starter for the injured Toriano Clinton. Porter back in. Conklin making sure to run the play clock down as far as he can. And he'll get a minimal gain before he's tackled by Ryan Fitzgerald.
But yeah, so let's talk about these inexperienced offensive linemen. At some point, it always happens throughout the season. You know, somebody gets dinged, and you're always looking for who's going to be that next guy that's going to be ready to step up. And getting minutes like this are just awesome. And, you know, for these kids to be able to play the entire fourth quarter, great experience for the young guys.
Yeah, left side, new tight end in 88. Bryce Geibel, as Conklin will throw to his right, and that's another catch for Heltzy before he gets knocked out of bounds around the 10-yard line by Kevin Countryman.
Good route there by Heltsley, and nice job. Conklin, you know, taking his drop and just throwing the ball on time, you know, making his decision and cutting it loose.
Yeah, and a senior, again, 4th year here at UIndy, a guy that has bided his time behind some other people. Sees Kennett get the job, but continues to put the work in and getting his chance as the primary backup. Hand up to Porter, up the middle, steps through a tackle. Touchdown, UIndy, Kellen Porter.
So we'll see on the highlight here.
Xavier is going out for one play.
This was really, really well blocked up front. So you get a little pull there by Grant Ray, who ends up getting 2 guys in that touchdown run. Great block back by Zulu, the center, Andrew Zulu. And as you know, he's covering and stepping back on that tackle that's over Ray that allows Ray to pull and get out in front and lead up on that touchdown run.
Seymour pounds it through the uprights again. UIndy extends its lead here on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Remember, when it comes to pedestrian safety, Greyhounds don't have 9 lives. No mascots or linebackers were harmed in the making of this video.
Back in my day, we didn't have inflatables for the kids. They played with sticks and stones, and they liked it. Go Hounds!
Kellen Porter gets on the board with a touchdown. 10 carries, 52 yards for him as UIndy picks up its 2nd touchdown on the ground to go along with 5 through the air. UIndy up 54-0 over St. Xavier. And again, this is a team expected to be potentially a contender in the NAIA, ranked number 11 in the preseason by the coaches in the NAIA, a playoff team from a season ago, and UIndy a couple of questions coming in. Those have all been answered, at least with this first opponent of the season, to get a good start and good reps before they get, again, a full week of practice, an open week next week, no game, before they go onto the road in weeks 3 and 4 for 2 big road games against Tiffin and Ohio Dominican. Greyhound fans can find tons of authentic UIndy sportswear, t-shirts, gameware, and giftware, all at houndgear.com. It's the superstore for UIndy fanatics. And Stuart Ross, his game appears to be over, as St. Xavier will go to John O'Sullivan, 6'3", 215-pound junior from Park Ridge, Illinois. He'll throw left down the left side and is unable to connect with his wide receiver, Ronnie Foster.
So I was at the Marion game earlier today, and one of their backup running backs is a kid named Keegan LaBelle from Mount Vernon. Find out that his mother is sitting right behind us. This Foster kid moved away from Mount Vernon but grew up with a lot of those kids. So there's another Indiana connection there.
Best run of the night. Mario Price, the freshman from Chicago Heights, Illinois, picks up 8. And again, we're talking, that brings the yardage. They were at negative 27 before that 8-yard run, as the UIndy defensive line has really, and linebackers have bottled up the running game all night. Another wayward snap. Ball is on the ground and is going to be picked up and recovered. UIndy, that's Justin Thomas, a freshman from Illinois, falls on the loose ball for the fumble recovery.
That's like the third missed exchange. And the second time that I think it was snapped at the wrong time. No, it's low and hard.
Again, another young player contributing in Justin Thomas. 6'2", 240 to Homewood Flossmoor High School in Illinois.
I think we just made some more changes up front.
And I think
we got a different, yep.
And also at quarterback. UIndy is Matt Dertarosian. Handoff goes to Quincy James, redshirt freshman from Chicago. Dertarosian, 6'3", 210, redshirt junior from Laguna Hills, California, transfer from San Jose State. It's good to me as a young man from California who came to college at the University of Indianapolis. Dertarosian is the third quarterback to come in tonight. And he'll hand off to Quincy James again, going to his left. Again, this has been dating back to a long time ago. Joe Polizzi, Bob Bartolomeo, now Chris Keevers. Run the ball, stout defense. UIndy spinning the hits tonight, and it shows on the scoreboard 54-0.
Well, and it shows it on the stat sheet. You know, one of the things I'm sure we'll talk about here in 8.5 minutes of game clock is, you know, just how dominating this performance has been.
See if Dertarosian gets to show his arm off at 3rd and 7. He'll hand off instead to James, who'll get close. As again, Luke Bless, a famous name in UIndy football annals, 22, is in at tight end. Again, you can see his family out in the caboose, the north end zone, the Bless Express. It's good to have a Bless on the roster with Luke as a redshirt freshman tight end.
And his dad, he was a senior when I was a freshman, wore number 22, and there were a lot of similarities watching him. Just his gait as he runs, very, very similar to his father.
Seymour again on to attempt a 34-yard field goal. And it is up, and it is good, and that young man has got a leg on him.
I mean, you think back, and we've had good kickers here. The recruiting has been just, they find the kids who fit what they're looking for, and the nice thing is to watch
the
them all
alumni
get better.
back. That's definitely, that looks like Tarjeet Singh there, and some of the other former players. Always see, you can see the alumni coming back. Back on campus.
Yeah, you know they enjoy nights like tonight, for certain.
Yeah, no doubt.
I noticed they're down in the south end too.
They're right. The new UIndy fan zone. Couldn't tell. Maybe we should see if they got wristbands that took advantage of the new offerings.
They might have.
Here at Key Stadium, the continued enhancements to the game day experience. Seymour will kick off again. Has had a couple touchbacks showing off that leg that delivered a 54-yard field goal during his high school career, but it goes low that time with a squib kick. And the coverage bottles up St. Xavier again. Our next broadcast here on the ISC and GLVC Sports Networks will be October 1st when UIndy plays host to Southwest Baptist. And again, after that big road stretch, if UIndy can come out of that in good shape, they finish the year with 3 out of 4 at home, including against Truman on Senior Day on November 12th, which potentially could be for the GLVC title. Handoff to Mario Price, going down the right side and knocked down after a gain of about 6 or 7.
Yeah, and, you know, a big point of emphasis right now is, you know, let's keep the clock running, let's stay healthy, and let's get ourselves. You know, UIndy will probably take a couple days off next week, knowing that they're not going to play next weekend. Be interesting. I wonder, you know, different coaches do that different ways. Will they go with take time off the beginning and then get back into your normal routine?
For 41, Indy must go out of the game for one play.
O'Sullivan down the sideline that time. Brandon Thomas, another one of these redshirt freshmen, breaking it up. Yeah, as a coach, is that kind of, you come in, look at film kind of the beginning of the week, and then look to, is that kind of time, Thursday, Friday, maybe the days off kind of to look at traditionally?
Well, yeah, and I mean, the coaches are obviously now, this is a key time for them to be out recruiting high school kids, and you know, so do they maintain their normal schedule and then give kids time off Friday, Saturday, and then ramp it back up?
Flag comes down in the backfield. Looking at the UIndy sideline, so this might in the position of potentially of holding.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 25, offense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, still third down.
Or that.
Now that's just trying to, you know, make sure everybody stays healthy here.
Well, and with the defense here, obviously backups in on both sides, 57-0. As you're motivated now, how much, especially from these starters and guys who start, how much now is shutout on the mind and motivating these guys to keep that at this point in the game?
I'm sure the starting defensive players, there's a lot of motivation on their part, but I don't know how much importance it would have with coaches.
And again, it was last spring of 21, when UIndy shut out Quincy. The last time this defense pitched a shutout. It's 4th and 18. We'll get a punt from St. Xavier. Selly might have been deflected, but it gets another friendly St. Xavier roll back into UIndy territory where they will take over. Free Enterprise System is the official travel agency for Greyhound Athletics. The Free Enterprise System. Anything else is just a bus ride. Thank our crew here. Excellent job by the crew all night, bringing you these great images from Key Stadium. As UIndy has put on quite a show, and again, especially here in the bleachers in front of us and under us here in the press box, many of those folks who continue to stay. Terosian is going to keep it on the quarterback keeper going to his right before he is pushed out of bounds.
You know, and occasionally, I'm not sure that how much Coach Wilson and Coach Engel are asking the quarterback to read it. I think occasionally they just call the quarterback run there off the action just to keep the defense honest.
And he'll keep it again. And a nice tackle by Nick Schultz. The late flag comes in. Again, a lot of guys getting some work. See Brett Russell, 32 redshirt freshman out there. Tyson Burton, 6'4" senior from Champaign, Illinois. J.C. Reese, redshirt freshman wide receiver from Lebanon. Getting some work. Again, we mentioned Luke Bless out there at tight end. UIndy's walking backwards.
Well, I think
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 79 offense, 15 yards from the end of the run, second down.
It's Matt Bilo, redshirt freshman offensive lineman from Mason, Ohio.
Yeah, he in 94 got tangled up here, and
yeah, right there on the right side you can see. And
the dive in is what got him.
Arakoyo got a little kick in there, but you know they'll always catch the second guy.
That's right.
But that'll push it back to a 2nd and 23 for the transfer from San Jose State. And he'll hand it off to James. Out there leading on the block, see 54, Isaac Ullum, redshirt freshman from Carmel. Tucker Keevers is out there getting some time, number 70. Yes, that is one of Chris's sons coming from that very recent New Palestine dynasty. They look like they have figured things out after a down year a season ago.
Yeah, they're off to a really good start.
Yeah.
I believe Coach Keevers, I saw his other son here in the crowd. He's going to wrestle here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew his other son was an athlete as well, but wasn't playing football. Terosian keeps it again, going to his left, and Schultz slows him down to prevent him from getting very far. And Zoller will get another chance to, or actually, excuse me, this will be Bryce Mullins, number 85, the junior punter from Elkhart, Indiana. Played Elkhart Central, punted some last year. They brought in Zoller, but Mullins continuing to put in the time. We'll get this opportunity here late in the fourth quarter. And he gets off a good end-over-end punt that is brought in by Adam Alcantar.
Yeah, this is just a matter of
a key drive here for St. Xavier. They want to leave with points on the board, and UIndy obviously wants to finish this off with the shutout. As O'Sullivan will come back out as the quarterback with Mario Price as his wide receiver, or excuse me, as his running back to his left. Hand off to Price with room up the middle. Jalen Wilson, the linebacker, will bring him down. Well, Davis, time ticks away. A lot to be impressed about, but maybe what are you most impressed about out of UIndy in this game tonight? Is there something that maybe stands out more than anything else?
A year ago, so they go from the spring season in 2021 into the fall season. 3 receivers that played in the spring have eligibility. 1 gets hurt. 2 decide not to come back. They go get a transfer who gets hurt in his first game or second game. And it never seemed like Bryce Stancomb and those receivers ever got any type of rhythm. You've got a group now with Connor Kennett, and this is game 1, and I thought they looked really, really good. And I think they've put in a lot of time from spring ball until the beginning of the season, throwing, hanging out, and I think you can tell there's the beginnings of something pretty special, because you already know you got a really good offensive line up front with Toriano Clinton, and then you bring in Slayball and Jaquan Buchanan. The running game we knew was going to be good, but I was really impressed with those receivers today.
The opportunity is certainly there, as you mentioned, with Toriano Clinton, which is obviously going to be for opposing defenses. Plan A and Plan B is to stop that run, force this new quarterback and young receivers. They will be provided opportunities, maybe against stacked boxes, one-on-one coverage, and other things to take advantage of teams primarily wanting to stop what UIndy wants to do first and foremost, which is run Toriano Clinton. Obviously, St. Xavier was never really able to slow down the run, making play action effective tonight, but you'll see stouter defenses in the upcoming weeks, and Tiffin and Ohio Dominican, who both held UIndy under 20 points a season ago, with Toriano Clinton at his full health and full strength in those games.
For sure, but I was really impressed with Connor Kennett. I mean, great arm strength, right? I mean,
he's going to push it
downfield.
He's
got a big arm. He can push the ball vertically down the field, but his poise and his confidence in some of the balls, like you talked about, one-on-one coverage, one-on-one has to equal open, and he threw it in spots, and guys went and made plays. I'm really encouraged to see these guys grow.
Maybe the favorite play call in the offensive coordinator's playbook, the victory formation, as UIndy is going to kneel this one out for the final 30 seconds as they'll move to 1-0 on the 2022 campaign. Again, 34-10 a season ago in Chicago, 10-10 at halftime. UIndy scored 24 unanswered, and really since that, another 57. They've scored 81 unanswered over the last 6 quarters against St. Xavier. And put it on to Toriano Clinton, only needed 1/2 of work, put 145 yards on it, as with those 145 yards, he moved past Al McKellar, past Dick Nally, into second place all time in UIndy history in rushing yardage, going over 3,600 yards. It's just Clay Fichter at 3,809 yards. He needed 273 coming into the game to pass him. He picked up 145 today, so only about another 130 that he will need to move past Clay Fichter, and a lot of that on that 88-yard touchdown run for UIndy, as time will continue to click off, and this will go down as a 57-0 victory for UIndy. Stay with us. We'll have the Prairie Farms postgame show in just a moment. 57-0, the Hounds are 1-0 to start 2022 on the ISC and GLVC Sports Network.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 1.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Back in my day, the entertainment at the football games was Uncle Larry playing his banjo in the back of the van. Go Hounds!
Ransom Buick GMC truck was just awarded GMC Dealer of the Year. Come see why. And drive away in a new Buick Encore for just $129 a month. Lease a new GMC Terrain for only $229 a month. Or get a third row Acadia for as little as $229 a month.
Get your next SUV from the GMC Dealer of the Year, Ray Skillman Buick GMC truck.
Two great locations, US 31 South
or I-465 and East Washington Street, or RaySkillmanCars.com.
Post-game huddle, victory huddle for the Hounds, 57-0 over St. Xavier. Matt Holmes and David Burton with you as we bring you the Prairie Farms post-game show, and just a lot of highlights all the way around. We were talking about him a little bit before the end of the game, but our Indiana Members Credit Union player of the game, his first career start for the Greyhounds, Connor Canet, 15 of 25, 182 yards, and 4 touchdowns for the sophomore from Cincinnati, putting on a show tonight for UIndy, Dave.
Yeah, right there, I think that was his throw of the night. That was the corner route to Jeremiah Lee. But the thing that I thought was great in his 15 of 25, we saw him complete lots of different types of throws. I think the sky's the limit for that kid, and you know, like I said earlier, I'm really excited to see him continue to grow this season.
Not to be outdone, though, Toriano Clinton, he had something to say today. It was our player to watch, and it's our Aqua Systems play of the game. Second series of the game, backed up to the 12. Toriano decides to take it to the house. 88 yards all the way to put UIndy on the scoreboard first, and they would not look back from there.
Toriano Clinton, is going to put his name in the record books and be the all-time leading rusher. But he's also the guy that's going to make this team, go. And he did 145 yards and didn't play a snap in the second half.
An excellent outing for Toriano. 11 carries, 145 yards, averaged 13.2 yards per rush. Getting a lot of that behind the 88-yard touchdown run. Our Aqua Systems play of the game. UIndy holds St. Xavier to 75 yards of total offense, negative 17 rushing yards. As you see our post-game statistics, 92 pass yards, negative 17 rushing, 22 first downs, and again, the balance, pass yards and rush yards was exactly even at halftime. A little bit more rushing as they didn't have to pass as much in the second half, but 199, 250, almost 250 on the ground. This offensive coaching staff will take that probably almost every game if they can get it. We want to thank our ISC Sports crew as well. Tonight's game was brought to you by the Free Enterprise Systems. Free Enterprise Systems, the official travel agency for Greyhound Athletics. Prairie Farms, we are Indiana's dairy. Indiana Members Credit Union proudly supports UIndy Athletics. Gordon Flesh, technology that works. Aqua Systems has been helping people improve their water since 1959. And Ray Skillman Auto Group. Go to rayskillman.com for your best deals. Dave Burton, I'm Matt Holmes. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Back in my day, it was about family here at the University of Indianapolis. And you know what? It still is. Go Hounds!
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 3.49% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.